Chapter 2988. But for now, according to the outside world's understanding of Tian-chan, she was domineering and lecherous. How could she possibly give her woman to someone else? Not to mention a high-quality cauldron. Of course, if the cauldron was left by Tian-chan's side on the surface and given to her disciple in secret, Tian-chan probably wouldn't allow it either. Since the cauldron was in Tian-chan's hands, Tian-chan might be considering giving it to her younger brother, Tian-change, or someone else from the Heavenly Elixir sect. Forefather Xianqin didn't want to cause trouble with Tian-chan over such a small matter, so he could only nod in agreement. He was a little annoyed. Kong Mingming had directly given the cauldron to him, and he could still give it to the hidden Zhao families Zhao Guanyin and Mian Huachuan, just like now. But after the Heavenly Elixir sect, could he still take it back? Senior Uncle Xianqin, is there anything else? Tian-chan naturally guessed what forefather Xianqin was thinking when she saw his expression. However, Tian-chan naturally wouldn't let him have his way. She pretended not to see it and asked. It's fine. You can go back. This Kong Mingming is really something. Watch me scold him for doing something like this. Forefather Xianqin pointed at the mulberry tree and scolded the locust tree. That's fine too. I'm also looking for a maid. Little Peach and Kong Mingming love each other, so I'm going to betroth Little Peach to Kong Mingming. It'll help them achieve their goal. That's why I need to find a maid. I'm guessing that Kong Mingming sent this cauldron to me. Tian-chan purposefully misinterpreted Kong Mingming's intentions and said to forefather Xianqin. Tian-chan knew why Kong Mingming approached Little Peach. He just wanted to get close to her through Little Peach. Little Peach wasn't a stunning beauty, but Kong Mingming pursued her with all his might. The meaning behind this was self-evident. Oh. So that's how it is. Patriarch Black Earth was suddenly enlightened. He snorted coldly and said, no wonder this kid didn't tell me beforehand. So it turns out that he wanted to exchange for Peach Blossom. I knew it. Patriarch Xianqin did not have any interest in women, so he did not think that Little Peach was beautiful or ugly. He believed Tian-chan's words. After all, Kong Mingming and Little Peach had been very close during this period of time. Patriarch Xianqin had also seen it. So, I think it's better to help Kong Mingming and Little Peach be together, Tian-chan said. Alright, but you have to remind Little Peach to keep her mouth shut. If she reveals that you are a girl, don't blame me for being impolite to her. Her family will also die. Patriarch Xianqin said. Alright, I'll pass on your message, Uncle Master Xianqin. Tian-chan nodded. Alright, you may leave. Patriarch Black Earth waved his hand, indicating that Tian-chan could leave. When Lin Yi got back to the villa, Meng Yao and Yushu saw that Lin Yi's face wasn't looking too good. The miss asked curiously, Lin Yi, what's wrong? Is the hidden house Xiao not going well? Zhao Guanyin ran away and took Chen Shi. I can't contact the Zhu brothers now. I don't know how they are doing, Lin Yi said with a frown. Ran away. Meng Yao paused. Yeah, but he only took Chen Shi, not Ziyu. That's what I'm confused about. If Zhao Guanyin wanted to blackmail me, he should have done it now, but there's no news at all, Lin Yi said worriedly. That's strange. The eldest miss was stunned. Logically speaking, there was always a reason to kidnap someone. It was either to rob them of their wealth, to rape them, or to blackmail them. Chen Shi was Zhao Guanyin's biological daughter. Even if Zhao Guanyin was worse than a beast, he shouldn't be able to do anything like rape. As for money, with Chen Shi's poor family background, even if they had some money recently, it still wouldn't be enough to enter the eyes of the hidden Zhao family. The last one was blackmail, but he didn't do it to Lin Yi. Shield bro, Shu thought of a possibility. Yushu thought about it and had an idea. Could it be that Zhao Guangyin took Qin Shi to give her a gift? Gift? Lin Yi didn't quite understand what Yushu meant. Zhuan Niaoqiang slapped his thigh. That's right. Boss Lin Yi, why didn't we think of that? Sister Shu is the smartest. Previously, both of us wanted to kidnap Qin Shi and use her as a cultivation cauldron. That Zhao Guangyin definitely knows about this. He can definitely give Qin Shi away as a cultivation cauldron and ask for the protection and support of some big shots. Oh. That makes sense. Lin Yi nodded and looked at Yushu. Shu, do you think so too? Yeah, I think so too, Yushu said with certainty. This is in line with Guangyin's thoughts as well. Hidden House Xiao is no match for Shield Bro, and if he doesn't want to die, he'll have to find someone stronger to back him up. The only bargaining chip he has left is Qin Shi. If that's the case, then Qin Shi is in danger. Lin Yi frowned. But there's no point in panicking now. We can only slowly gather information, Han Tianba comforted. Lin Yi nodded, but soon, there was news from the Hidden House Zhuang. Boss Shu and second brother Zhu were found in an alley near the school, and both of them had different degrees of injuries. Boss Shu's injuries were more serious, and they were on the way to Donghai. But Lin Yi felt that this wasn't normal. Boss Shu and second brother Zhu were both Earth-class masters, and both of them were injured. The enemy needed at least 3 Earth-class masters to do this. Could it be that there was a third person other than Zhao Guangyin and Elder Mian? Zhao Qibing. Suddenly, he thought of Zhao Qibing. He picked up his phone and called Gu Xian. Boss, why are you calling again? It's so fast, I don't have any news. Gu Xian asked, confused. I'm not asking for news, but I need you to keep an eye on someone for me, Zhao Qibing from the Dark Palace. He's related to Qin Shi. Lin Yi said. Oh. Okay, I'll get some people to look for him, Gu Xian replied. Although this made Lin Yi very uneasy, he still had to live his life as usual. Before Gu Xian had any news, Lin Yi couldn't go around looking for Qin Shi like a headless chicken. He could only do his own things. After breaking through to the early phase of Sky Class, Lin Yi had a lot of things to do. He needed to practice the later moves of Fire Bagua Zhang, find a suitable Sky Class weapon, and complete the second stage of the Art of Dragon Mastery. He could go back to West Star Village and open the third stone door at any time. Chapter 2990. After reaching Sky Class, he could use the Spring Rain Martial Technique to provide more stamina and pure Qi. Would he be able to concoct Sky Class pills with Han Jingjing's help? However, the most important point was that Lin Yi was in need of money. The medical company was barely holding on, but it didn't mean that they had made it through. After this batch of medicine was sent to the distributors, there would definitely be a gap. Before, it was the distributors who paid first and then the goods, but after this incident, which distributor would be stupid enough to pay first and then the goods? They would only pay when the goods arrived. This way, Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company wouldn't have the money to produce the next batch of medicine. Fatty Lai had already told Lin Yi about this, but Lin Yi really had no other way. Among his lackeys, the richest was the secular House Lu, and now that the secular House Lu was done for, Lin Yi really didn't have a place to look for money. The richest in the Hidden Plain were the Hidden House Yu and the Golden Clock sect, but these two were just feigning civility because they were afraid of Lin Yi. If he really wanted money from them, it wouldn't be possible. Lin Yi couldn't just go to their door and extort money, could he? The ancient level would probably interfere if he did this without a good reason, and that wasn't something Lin Yi wanted to see. He'd had enough troubles recently, and he didn't want to cause any more trouble now that everything had calmed down. He could only take it one step at a time. Lin Yi temporarily settled his lackeys and went to the backyard of the villa, ready to try activating the fire Baghuazhang. When he was in the late phase of Earth class, Lin Yi could already activate the 8th form of the fire Baghuazhang, but he couldn't activate the 9th form. Lin Yi could already activate the 9th form of the Fire Fist, so Lin Yi activated the mantra for the 9th form of the Fire Fist, and then he moved the qi to his palms, using the method of the 5-element Baghuazhang, and quickly activated it. Boom! There was an explosion in the yard. Although Lin Yi only activated it in the air, the power was not to be underestimated. The huge explosion shocked Lin Yi's lackeys in the villa, but most of them were happy. Lin Yi seemed to be stronger than before. This was the same as activating the 15th form of a normal martial technique. Before, Lin Yi could instantly kill a mid-phase Sky-class master, and now, Lin Yi felt that he could kill a peak mid-phase Sky-class master. But whether or not, he had to test it first to know. What made Lin Yi regretful was that after activating the 9th form, Lin Yi's body actually drained all the qi in his body, causing Lin Yi to directly go limp on the ground. The 15th form, generally, could only be activated by a mid-phase Sky-class master. Now that Lin Yi was activating it, it naturally consumed more qi. And Lin Yi also found that the higher the level of the fire Baghuazhang, the harder it was to activate it. It was not like when he was in the early phase of the Earth class, where he could easily activate it. Now, every time Lin Yi activated it, he had to use all his strength, and he couldn't activate it continuously. After quickly recovering his qi, Lin Yi began to try activating the 10th, 11th, and 12th forms of the Fire Fist. However, these 3 forms seemed to be already memorized by Lin Yi, activating them in one go without any hindrance. At the 13th form, it came to an abrupt stop. And even after activating the 12th form, Lin Yi didn't feel as exhausted as when activating the 9th form of the fire Baghuazhang. After that, Lin Yi tried again and found that he could activate the 8th form of the fire Baghuazhang twice. In other words, he could instantly kill 2 mid-phase Sky-class masters. Compared to before, this was an obvious improvement, but it still didn't reach Lin Yi's expectations. It could be said that the art of dragon mastery had an obvious advantage before the mystic class, and the all-purpose skills had an obvious advantage before the earth class. But now, Lin Yi had stepped into the sky class, but he still hadn't found an advantage, so Lin Yi placed his hope on the 3rd stone door that was about to open. The news of Lin Yi's recovery spread like wildfire across the entire ancient world. And the Dark Palace, naturally, received the news long ago. At this moment, Zhao Qibing had returned and was sitting in the meeting room. Lin Yi, that freelancer, actually recovered his strength and reached the early phase of Sky class. How is this possible? Wasn't he poisoned? Zhao Qibing, tell me, what's going on? Wasn't it Kong Mingming who poisoned him? The Grand Elder was exasperated. She thought that she would be able to take the 2 pills from Lin Yi's hands with her arrogance, but not only did she fail to take them, Lin Yi had become even stronger. The poison is fine, but this Lin Yi can't be judged by common sense. It's been like this many times in the past. Lin Yi looked like he was done for, but when his enemies arrived, they realized that Lin Yi was faking it. Zhao Qibing said bitterly, Kong Mingming and I once saw Lin Yi, who was supposed to be unconscious, suddenly stand up and use a big move, turning a few of our masters into ashes. You're too weak, you're too weak. If I had to do it myself, that Lin Yi would be begging for mercy. The Grand Elder smiled coldly, forget it, let's not talk about this. How did your trip to Sky Elixir go? Did you resolve your grudge with Sky Elixir? Grand Elder, Elder Kong said that he would prioritize making qi-gathering pills for Dark Palace, and it'll be done soon. He's very happy about this. Zhao Qibing said quickly. That's good. The Grand Elder nodded. Last time, when Elder Hei and Sky Silkworm transformation had a conflict, the Grand Elder was afraid that it would affect the relationship between the two sects, so the Sky Elixir sect purposely made things difficult for Dark Palace. It just so happened that Zhao Qibing had this plan, so he made the trip. It seemed like the effect was achieved. You did well this time. Thank you for the compliment, Grand Elder. Although Zhao Qibing said that, he didn't think much of the Grand Elder. This was a classic example of bullying the weak and fearing the strong. In front of the Sky Elixir sect, he was the grandson, but in front of Lin Yi, he was the boss. But, you're only good at talking, do you want to give more to Lin Yi? Do you dare? With the restriction of the ancient sects, even if you were Sky Class Late Phase Peak, you wouldn't dare to cause trouble in the common world. Ice Palace. Bingtang knew that Lin Yi had regained his strength earlier than the others, as Aunt Qing brought the good news to her. Chapter 2991. He is actually in Heaven stage. Rock Candy was a little emotional. It was rare for her to be able to enter Heaven stage at such a young age. Although every sect had some elixirs, breaking through to Heaven stage was different from other stages. Chi-gathering pills were not used unless it was absolutely necessary. This was also the reason why the Palace of Dark Knights didn't use it until now. After all, once the Chi-gathering pill was used, one's strength would be stuck at the moment of advancement. In the future, unless one kept taking Chi-gathering pills or accepted the Enlightenment inheritance and no longer had the level barrier, the path of cultivation for the rest of his life would be locked. Yes, Palace Master, Lin Yi is really young and promising. If he wasn't Vice Palace Master Feng's boyfriend, Palace Master could also consider it. Aunt Qing said with some emotion. Rock Candy suddenly blushed. Thinking of her promise to Lin Yi to be his little wife, Rock Candy couldn't help but feel a little flustered. Watching Lin Yi grow step by step, was she really going to marry him? Back then, Rock Candy only said those words out of anger. She never thought that Lin Yi would really have such a day. But now that Lin Yi was already in the early stage of Heaven stage, it was really hard to say what would happen in the future. Aunt Qing, when did you speak up for a man? Didn't you tell me before that men are unreliable? Rock Candy changed the topic because it was really hard for her to imagine what it would be like when she became Lin Yi's little wife. Back then, I and that man were interested in each other, but that man rejected me. But maybe he had his difficulties. I used to think that he looked down on me, but after he left for so many years and there was no news from the old palace master, I gradually understood that he rejected me for my own good. If he had accepted me back then, how would I have spent all these years missing him? Aunt Qing sighed. Although she didn't look old, her actual age was almost 40 years old. Oh. Aunt Qing, have you thought it through? Bingtang was stunned and looked at Aunt Qing in surprise. Yes, after experiencing Lin Yi's matter and seeing Deputy Palace Master Feng separate from his lover, and the two of them can't be together for various reasons, I figured it out. Maybe that person also has his own difficulties. Aunt Qing said, I just don't know how he is now. Is he living well? Aunt Qing, it's good that you've thought things through. Bingtang heaved a sigh of relief. Aunt Qing's matter was also Bingtang's concern. Aunt Qing, since you have thought it through, have you decided to get married? Of course not. Back then, that person said that if it was really possible, he would come back to find me. At that time, I thought that what he said was just perfunctory, but now that I think about it, maybe it really wasn't perfunctory. Aunt Qing shook her head and said, so, I will continue to wait. Bingtang nodded. She understood Aunt Qing. This matter had been in her heart for more than 10 years. How could she let it go so easily? However, Bingtang finally found a chance to ask, Aunt Qing, because of your matter before, I couldn't ask, but now that you have thought it through, can you tell me about what happened in the past? According to the rumors in Jianghu, the two masters who suddenly appeared were masters of the heavenly way, and your lover was actually a master of the heavenly way. It's really incredible. Rumors are not necessarily reliable. In fact, I asked him if he was a cultivator and if he was a master of the heavenly way. At that time, he didn't answer directly, but he gave an ambiguous answer. Aunt Qing smiled. What answer? Asked Bingtang. He said that he didn't know what level of expert he was. If I had to say, he should be an unranked expert because he was neither a physical cultivator nor a spiritual cultivator. However, he was more powerful than any cultivator in the world. Aunt Qing seemed to be lost in her memories. She thought back to those years and those things. More powerful than any cultivator. What about those people in that place? Bingtang hesitated and asked. They should be more powerful. Back then, he killed Patriarch Mad Dragon with one punch in the everyday sect. Aunt Qing said, this isn't something that any cultivator can do. So, those rumors are true. Rock Candy had heard of these things before, but most of them were hearsay. Because of Aunt Qing, she did not delve into it. Only now did she know clearly, then, what's his name? His name is Lin Dongfang. Aunt Qing remembered this unforgettable name. Lin Dongfang. The same surname as Lin Yi. Bingtang was slightly stunned, then looked at Aunt Qing with a faint smile and said, Aunt Qing, is it because Lin Yi's surname is also Lin that you favor him? Maybe. Aunt Qing didn't deny it, but nodded slightly and said, but Lin Yi has his own merits. Aunt Qing, you go and tell this good news to Xiao Xiao. After she hears it, she will be very happy. Bingtang hesitated and said. Oh. Aunt Qing was slightly stunned. This wasn't like Bingtang's personality. Because of her, Bingtang had always been cold towards relationships since she was young. This time, she actually took the initiative to ask her to tell this news to Xiao Xiao. Actually, Aunt Qing, you have said so much to me, and I understand your feelings. Naturally, I also understand Xiao Xiao's feelings. I hate Lin Yi, maybe because he is the first solo practitioner who dares to challenge the dignity of the Ice Palace, and also the first man who made me say things like being his little wife, so I have always been prejudiced against him. But, as Aunt Qing said, he is really powerful. Bingtang had to admit that Lin Yi was a powerful person. A solo practitioner who could step into Sky class from Mystic class in such a short time was really unbelievable. Haha, that's good. Aunt Qing smiled. Actually, I also don't want to see you and Vice Palace Master Feng have a conflict because of this. Aunt Qing left, and Bingtang fell into deep thought again. Unconsciously, she remembered the scene when Lin Yi came to the Ice Palace for the first time. Lin Yi stood in the snow, looking forward to meeting her. Even if he didn't eat or drink, he just stood there for half a month, just for Xiao Xiao. Chapter 2992. When he was at Mystic Phase, this goal was out of reach, but now, it wasn't within reach, but it wasn't far away either. She thought about how Lin Yi fought for Tang Yun at House Tang's birthday banquet, and how he didn't hesitate to fall out with House Tang and even the Heavenly Elixir Sect's envoy. At that time, she thought that Lin Yi was overestimating himself, but now it seemed that it was the hidden House Tang who was overestimating himself. Now, in the hidden world, who would dare to go against Lin Yi's will? The hidden House Xiao would be their end. Thinking about this, Crystal Candy suddenly felt that Lin Yi wasn't that annoying anymore. He was a solo practitioner, and he was able to get to where he was today with his own hard work, one step at a time. He was different from the practitioners who came from big sects, and he could only rely on himself. The background of a hero was never questioned. Those two unknown masters were able to sweep through the ancient world, weren't they solo practitioners? In fact, he might not even be a rogue cultivator, but he was still able to turn the ancient era upside down. Crystal Candy's view of Lin Yi changed unknowingly, and she was even happy for Xiao Xiao. To have a man who loved her like this, at least he was much better than Aunt Qing. Although Aunt Qing went to help Lin Yi, Xiao Xiao still didn't have the mood to train. Aunt Qing could help for a while, but not forever. Lin Yi was crippled by poison, and this wasn't a small problem. There was no antidote for the poison, and Lin Yi's injuries were on his meridians and dantian. This was a vicious cycle, and no matter how good the medicine was, it couldn't heal Lin Yi's injuries. In the world of practitioners, if the dantian was crippled, it meant that the practitioner's path of training had ended, and he could only be a normal person for the rest of his life. Xiao Xiao knew that Lin Yi valued strength. Without strength, where would Lin Yi go? Just as Xiao Xiao was frowning, Aunt Qing walked into her room. Aunt Qing. Hearing the footsteps, Xiao Xiao raised her head and froze. Aunt Qing, why are you back? Lin Yi's husband. How is he? Vice Palace Master Feng, I'm going to tell you a very important piece of news. Don't get too excited after hearing it. Aunt Qing finally untangled the knot in her heart today and joked with Xiao Xiao. If it were any other time, Xiao Xiao would definitely say, Auntie Qing, just call me Xiao Xiao, why call me Vice Palace Master Feng? But today, Xiao Xiao couldn't care less about that. She was thinking about Lin Yi, so she quickly asked, Aunt Qing. What was going on? What happened to Lin Yi? Something very big. Aunt Qing looked at Xiao Xiao with a serious face and said slowly, he broke through to Sky Class early phase. Ah. Xiao Xiao was so nervous that her heart was pounding. She didn't think that it would be something this big. This was indeed a big deal, but how could Xiao Xiao not think the worst when Aunt Qing said it like that? A smile appeared on Xiao Xiao's face as she complained, Aunt Qing, you're just scaring me. The news of the Everyday sect and Lin Yi's recovery and annihilation of the hidden house Xiao naturally spread. When Pin Liang heard the news, he was a little surprised, but not too surprised. He was Lin Yi's earliest opponent since returning to the city, and he was also one of the opponents who understood Lin Yi the best. He saw Lin Yi's ups and downs a few times, and the rumors said that Lin Yi was injured, but Lin Yi stood up again in the end. This made it very easy for Pin Liang to accept that Lin Yi wasn't injured at all, and that he was pretending to be weak. Pure Yang, what do you think? Pin Liang frowned after receiving the news. Master, in fact, this has nothing to do with us. The news of Lin Yi being poisoned and the news of him kicking the Zhao family came back almost at the same time. We didn't plan to take advantage of him, but decided to use absolute strength. Let Brother Chun Yin take action. Even if Lin Yi is in the early stage of Heaven stage, in front of the peak late stage of Heaven stage, he will not be able to withstand a single blow, Chun Yang Tianzuan said. That's true. Is Pure Yin done with his isolation? Pin Liang nodded and asked. Not yet, with Pure Yin's current strength, it'll be very hard for him to break through, so he won't be able to come out anytime soon. Pure Yang said, if Master is willing, I can call him out earlier. Forget it, disturbing his isolation might cause him to bite back and go berserk. There's already Zhang Naipeo in his heart, and our sect can't lose any more people. Pin Liang waved his hand, there's no rush to kill Lin Yi, let's wait until he's done with his isolation. Master has the final say. Let's wait and see. Pure Yang Heavenly Venerate hurriedly agreed. Dark Palace. Today was a day of celebration for the Dark Palace, because today, the Sky Elixir sect sent over a chi gathering pill. Maybe it was because he gave the Sky Elixir sect a good cauldron, so Elder Xianchen specially ordered to make a chi gathering pill for the Dark Palace first. Of course, this was just a gesture. Although the cauldron had no use for Tian Chan's cultivation, in order to express his fondness for the cauldron in front of the outside world, he quickly gave out a qi-amassing pill. This qi-gathering pill is the last hope of our dark palace. After you take it, I will immediately send you to the Dark Phoenix Mountain range for closed-door training. The moment you break through to heaven rank is the easiest time to comprehend the inheritance. At that time, you may become the inheritor of the metal element. The Grand Elder held the qi-gathering pill excitedly and said solemnly, I hope you don't waste this chance. Yes, Grand Elder. Was a little nervous. Looking at the Grand Elder's excited eyes, she could only pray in her heart that the inheritance must be successful this time, otherwise, even if she was the granddaughter of the old sect master, it wouldn't help. The Grand Elder was someone who was crazy about the development of the sect. In her eyes, nothing was more important than the interests of the sect. Even if it was the sect master, as long as he did harm to the sect, she could still remove him from his position and support a new sect master. One had to say, this type of person who didn't care about anything else for the sake of the sect was a weirdo in the ancient world. After received the qi-gathering pill, she was sent to the Dark Phoenix Mountain range by the Grand Elder to break through to Sky Class and receive the inheritance. However, the higher the expectations of the people in the Dark Palace, the greater the pressure on In fact, everyone knew that stepping into Sky Class would only increase the chances of receiving the inheritance by a small amount. Chapter 2993. Lin Yi's life became simple once again. Although the news of Lin Yi's breakthrough to the early stage of Heaven Class had spread, and Lin Yi's enemies had also gone into hiding, but Lin Yi was worried about Qin Shi, so he didn't leave the villa. In fact, Lin Yi's current priority was to go back to the West Star Village, then open the third stone door and get the benefits behind it. But without receiving any news about Qin Shi, Lin Yi's heart was not at ease. So in the past few days, Lin Yi still practiced martial arts in the villa every day, condensed the forging fire, and waited for Han Jingjing to come out of seclusion. He wanted to increase her strength to the late stage of Earth Class, and then see if she could refine a third-level pill. The only thing that made Lin Yi happy was that he had made great progress in condensing the forging fire. Maybe Lin Yi's strength had improved, or maybe Lin Yi was diligent in practicing. In short, Lin Yi could now increase and decrease the attributes of the forging fire at will, but he still couldn't change the temperature and intensity of the fire. These two aspects still needed further practice. But no matter what, Lin Yi had improved a lot compared to before, and this change made Lin Yi very happy. At noon, Lin Yi finished his practice and was ready to increase the strength of his spirit beasts. But before Lin Yi reached the backyard, the phone rang. Lin Yi picked it up and saw that it was Gu Xian. He quickly pressed the answer button. Gu Xian. How is it? Is there any news? Boss, there's news. I was just about to tell you about it. Gu Xian had just received the news, and quickly dialed Lin Yi's number. Zhao Guanyin and Qin Shi went to the Heavenly Elixir sect, and at present, Qin Shi was given to the young master of the Heavenly Elixir sect as a furnace by Zhao Guanyin. And because of his contributions, Zhao Guanyin became the disciple of the 8th elder of the Heavenly Elixir sect, Kong Mingming. Oh. Qin Shi was sacrificed as a cultivation vessel. Lin Yi's heart suddenly jumped. Although Lin Yi didn't know how to use the furnace, it was definitely not good for Qin Shi. He quickly asked, is she in danger? For the time being, there is no danger, because according to the information, Qin Shi has not systematically practiced the furnace mantra before, so the Heavenly Elixir sect has decided to let her practice the furnace mantra again in 2 years. So for now, it seems that no one is in danger. Gu Xian said, however, it's hard to say after 2 years. According to the news, the maid before the Heavenly Silkworm transformation was his furnace. Her name was Heavenly Butterfly, and she has been cultivated to death. One is already dead. Lin Yi immediately frowned, but he was a little puzzled. The heavenly silkworm transformation he saw the other day didn't seem to be someone who practiced crooked ways. Could it be that the rumors were true, that the young master of the heavenly elixir sect was a lecherous pervert? Yes, even the heavenly elixir sect admitted that one died, but they said it was an accident. But the rumors say that heavenly silkworm transformation used her as a furnace and sucked too much pure qi, and she died. Gu Xian said. Boss, you know that it's hard to say, but the rumors aren't unfounded. What Gu Xian didn't know was that the news of heavenly butterfly being used as a furnace was spread by the heavenly silkworm transformation herself. One, it was to cover up her female identity, and the other, it was to cover up the fact that she was hiding heavenly butterfly. But at least we still have 2 years. Gu Xian, help me keep an eye on the heavenly elixir sect and Qin Shi. If there are any changes, let me know immediately. Lin Yi said after some thought. At least Qin Shi was fine for now, and Lin Yi breathed a sigh of relief. Boss Zhu and Second Zhu had been sent back by Lin Yi to protect Ziyu. Lin Yi had enough underlings around him, and the two of them wouldn't be of much use here. Plus, the news of Lin Yi becoming a sky-class early phase had spread. In the hidden plane, there was no one who could fight him anymore. The ancient plane, on the other hand, had their own rules. They wouldn't casually enter the common world. After hanging up, Lin Yi called Ziyu and told her not to worry, that Qin Shi was fine for now. He also told Boss Zhu to tell Qin Shi's mother about the situation, but he could only tell her the truth. Qin Shi had been sold by Zhao Guanyin, and although she wasn't in danger right now, it was enough for her to give up on Zhao Guanyin. She had to be more careful, just in case she fell for it again. Hidden House Tang, Elder Tang Taijung, had also heard about Lin Yi breaking through to Sky Class and annihilating the Hidden House Zhao. He was so scared that he couldn't sit still. Before, Tang Taijung never would have thought that a solo practitioner like Lin Yi could grow to this extent. It was too unbelievable. Even at the Hidden House Summit, Tang Taijung couldn't tell that Lin Yi was able to annihilate the Hidden House Zhao. At that time, he was naive enough to think that Lin Yi had caused the conflict between the Hidden House Yu and House Zhao to escape. He was still afraid of the Hidden House Yu and House Zhao. Lin Yi's excellence was only that of a junior. Compared to elders like them, it was like heaven and earth. But now, his illusion was shattered by Lin Yi's actions. From what he could see, Lin Yi, a junior solo practitioner that he didn't even put in his eyes, suddenly became a crocodile that could swallow the Hidden House Tang at any time. Tang Taijung was truly afraid. Tang Boss, Tang Yu, and Yu Xiaoxin were all called to the Hidden House Tang's meeting room. Tang Taijung was like an ant on a hot pan, pacing around on the floor. What do we do? What should we do? Back then, we, the Hidden House Tang, offended Lin Yi and his father-in-law's family. What should we do now? Hidden House Zhao has been annihilated by Lin Yi. Next, it should be our Hidden House Tang's turn, right? Back then, when Tang Yun was accepted as Shuagu's disciple, Tang Taijung wasn't too worried. He only regretted kicking Tang Yun out of the house. After all, an ancient sect wouldn't make a move on a hidden house just because of a small grudge. It was against the rules. However, Lin Yi was a solo practitioner. He didn't care about the rules and didn't play by the rules. He destroyed whoever he wanted. This was what worried Elder Tang the most. Chapter 2995. However, everyone in the Tang family cared about their face. Although they knew that they were the ones who caused the situation, they couldn't bring themselves to go to the Snow Valley to recognize Tang Yun. Especially when Xiao Ming was still in the Snow Valley, Boss Tang didn't dare to do this behind Yu Xiaoxin's back. If Yu Xiaoxin found out, she would definitely explode in anger and make a big fuss. But now, it was a moment of life and death for the hidden Tang family. Face and whatnot could be abandoned. Tang Taijung's tone had already softened. Why would eldest brother Tang still care about face? How about I make a trip to the Snow Valley and bring Xiaoming back? Tang Laode hesitated for a moment before he looked at Tang Taijung and asked. Actually, bringing Xiaoming back was equivalent to acknowledging Tang Yun. He would also become Lin Yi's father-in-law. Then, Lin Yi couldn't not acknowledge his own family, right? How dare you? Before Tang Taijung could say anything, Yu Xiaoxin exploded and loudly denied, "Are you still thinking about that bitch in your heart?" Pa! Tang Taijung frowned. He was very dissatisfied with his daughter-in-law. But before he could reprimand her, Big Brother Tang couldn't help but slap her in the face. Why are you interrupting when men are talking? You slut, if it wasn't for you rejecting Xiaoming, would our family be in this state now? Xiaoming's daughter was Tang Yun. She is Senior Lin's girlfriend. With Senior Lin's support, our hidden Tang family might even become the ancient Tang family. You hit me. Yu Xiaoxin didn't listen to the latter part of Big Bro Tang's words. She directly became anxious as she pointed at Big Bro Tang and cursed, "I want to go back to my mother's house and tell my father that you hit me." All right. Yu Xiaoxin, stop fooling around. Tang Taijung finally couldn't take it anymore and scolded, "Hiding in the Yu family is also difficult to protect. Do you think your father is some great hero?" In front of Senior Lin Yi, it was just a fart. Senior Lin wanted him to destroy the hidden Zhao family, so he had to destroy it. Otherwise, he would have to die. However, he is lucky to have a chance to be Senior Lin's dog to resolve his grudges. Our hidden Zhao family is a step behind. After being scolded by Tang Taijung, Yu Xiaoxin suddenly came to her senses. Yes, Lin Yi was no longer the Lin Yi of the past. She had always regarded the hidden Yu family as a big backer, but in front of Lin Yi, didn't they order them around like dogs? Thinking of this, Yu Xiaoxin shut her mouth and did not dare to say anything more. Grandpa, I support father's suggestion. I'll accompany him to the Snow Valley to reunite with him. Even if I can't bring Auntie Xiaoming back, our relationship will at least be better. At least my relationship with Auntie Xiaoming is still not bad. Tang Yuyu said, as for Lin Yi, I have a good relationship with him. I don't know if he can do me a favor. Of course, if Lil Sis Tang Yun helps, then there won't be a problem. That's good too. Tang Taijung nodded in agreement and patted Tang Yuyu's shoulder. Yuyu, now it seems that you have the most foresight in our hidden Tang family. Not only did you have a good relationship with your Auntie Xiaoming, you also had a good relationship with Senior Lin Yi. This way, not only can our Tang family resolve our grudges, we might even be able to rise to the next level. Xiaoxin, look, how powerful is your son. Unlike you, petty and narrow-minded. If Xiaoming comes back this time, her position in the family will be the same as yours. She will be a second wife. If you dare to bully her, then scram back to the hidden Yu family and wait for death. Don't implicate our hidden Tang family. Tang Taijung thought of the possibility of obtaining Lin Yi's support and the hidden Tang family would soar. In this way, the hidden Yu family's help and power would not be worth mentioning at all. Yu Xiaoxi nodded submissively but didn't dare to make a scene. Even if she was stupid, she could see that Lin Yi was now more powerful than the hidden Yu family and the hidden Tang family. If she offended Lin Yi, then her family would be ruined. Dad, don't worry, I won't dare to do it again. But you have to thank me for giving birth to Yu. If it wasn't for him, how would we have the chance to meet Lin Yi? Tang Taijung nodded and calmed down a little. How about this, boss? You guys pack up and head to Snow Valley. The sooner this matter is settled, the better. Otherwise, if Senior Lin Yi is free and decides to attack our hidden Tang family, we will be caught unprepared. Okay. Boss Tang and Tang Yu quickly agreed. However, the hidden Tang family was worrying over nothing. Lin Yi didn't really remember what happened in the hidden Tang family. His memory was messed up because of the senseless herb's medicinal liquid. He couldn't remember what conflict he had with the hidden Tang family, so it was even more impossible for him to find trouble with the hidden Tang family. 5 Element Sect. In the living room of the 5 Element Sect, Ancestor Xianqin was receiving 3 people from the secular world. However, for Ancestor Xianqin to personally come out to receive them, these 3 people's identities were definitely not ordinary. Ancestor Xianqin, I've heard a lot about you. Among the 3 people, the leader was a woman who was a little too young. At this moment, facing Ancestor Xianqin, her attitude was neither servile nor overbearing. Obviously, she was someone who had experienced a lot. Miss Luan, I'm afraid you've heard the name Xianqin not long ago, right? As for me, I've heard a lot about you. The person in charge of the largest overseas human potential research organization, the Center. Ancestor Xianqin laughed and nodded to the young woman in front of him. Don't call me Miss Luan. I'm afraid I'm about the same age as you. The woman called Miss Luan said faintly, I wonder why Ancestor Xianqin is looking for me through Jiangwen. Forgive me for being blunt. Before, I was only guessing that behind the Fire Wolf Gang and the Red Conches, there was another larger and more high-end organization. The Fire Wolf Gang and the Red Conches sounded more like a branch of a certain organization. After thinking about it, it could only be more similar to the once flourishing center. Ancestor Xianqin said, so, with an attitude of giving it a try, I invited you through Jiangwen. I really didn't expect that after the center was destroyed, I became much more low-key, but Ancestor Xianqin still connected the Fire Wolf Gang and the Red Conches to our center from clues. Miss Luan said with a smile. Chapter 2996. If you have something to say, just say it. Miss Luan didn't continue talking to the Xianqin ancestor and asked directly. Because Jiang Wen had earned a lot of money recently, he directly entered Miss Luan's line of sight from the leader of the northern branch of the Fire Wolf Gang. It just so happened that the Xianqin ancestor sent someone to invite Jiang Wen and the leader behind him to 5 Element Sect as guests, so Miss Luan appeared. If it was an ordinary sect, Miss Luan definitely wouldn't appear, but 5 Element Sect was different. Miss Luan had also heard of this sect that stood at the top of the pyramid of the cultivation world, so she agreed to come. And this was the first time Jiang Wen saw the biggest boss of the Fire Wolf Gang and Red Conch. However, being able to enter the eyes of the biggest boss meant that it wasn't far from Jiang Wen's meteoric rise. Great. The Xianqin ancestor nodded and said, I've been in contact with little brother Jiang Wen before. It just so happens that Professor Yin wants to use a few practitioners to experiment and create a new type of modified biohuman. I can provide 2 practitioners here. Oh. What's the condition? Miss Luan wasn't stupid and asked directly. After all, it was a very difficult thing to find practitioners to experiment on. Which practitioner would be willing to accept the modification so easily? However, it was useless for ordinary people. Professor Yin had already modified many times and still couldn't achieve a breakthrough, so he could only find practitioners. Moreover, practitioners were very strong. If they didn't accept the modification voluntarily, no matter how strong the Fire Wolf Gang was, they wouldn't be able to capture a few practitioners to obediently cooperate with the modification. I heard that the Fire Wolf Gang is good at turning the dead back to life. As long as there are living tissues in the body, they can turn this person into a biohuman. Is that so? The Xianqin ancestor asked. That's right. What do you want to do? Miss Luan didn't deny it. However, this technology is quite advanced. It's still difficult for Ian Siren to do it himself. This is also the reason why I'm looking for Miss Luan. The Xianchen ancestor said. If Miss Luan can do it herself, I'm afraid things will become much simpler. How about it, Miss Luan, can you help me? Who do you want to revive and modify? Miss Luan did not agree, nor did she refuse. She only asked. She was also estimating the bargaining chips, trying to see how much benefit this matter would bring to her. It's a grand disciple of mine. He was beaten into a vegetative state and is currently unconscious. As long as he wakes up, the attribute structure in his body remains the same. To put it bluntly, it's to retain the strength of a cultivator. The person that Patriarch Xianchen was referring to was naturally Tag Onlong. Now that the dark seed, Tian Chan, had failed to accept the inheritance, Patriarch Xianchen had no choice but to target Tag Onlong again. However, there was no hope for him to concoct the fourth-rank Great Revitalizing Pill. It was something that was out of his reach. He had no other choice but to think of other ideas. After thinking for a while, he focused on the Fire Wolf Gang and prepared to make a deal with them. Definitely not. What Patriarch Xianchen did not expect was that Miss Luan rejected his idea with one sentence. If you want your grand disciple to come back to life and have extraordinary strength, that's not a problem. However, if you want to retain the attributes and strength in his body, at least for now, I can't do it. If it's a normal person, I can give it a try, but the key is that your grand disciple is already seriously injured. I have to change some of his genes to revive him. Who knows if the attributes in his body will change? Miss Luan directly rejected this kind of thing that could not be done, lest there be problems in the future. Is that so? Patriarch Xianchen was a little disappointed. So I said, try using a cultivator that we provide here first. I've already said that a living person is different from a dead person. There's no comparison. Miss Luan shook her head and refused. Can't you think of a way? Patriarch Xianchen was a little unwilling. Whatever price you want, just name it. I really can't. Miss Luan shook her head and said indifferently, you also know the style of our center. We can cooperate with others, but we won't easily agree to things that we can't do. Professor Luan, Patriarch Xianchen, I heard a rumor. I don't know if you want to hear it. Jiang Wen suddenly interrupted. Oh. What rumor? Patriarch Xianchen looked at Jiang Wen and asked quickly. He naturally wouldn't think that Jiang Wen would talk about something unrelated to this matter at this time. If he spoke at this time, it must be related to Tagalong's injury. Some time ago, Lin Yi was poisoned and had his meridians and dantian destroyed. I'm sure you're familiar with this, right? Jiang Wen asked. But Lin Yi recovered later on. Do you know why? I've heard of this, but do you know why? Patriarch Xuanchen's expression became solemn as he looked at Jiang Wen. I have a rough guess. Jiang Wen said proudly. According to my sources, after Lin Yi was injured, he was helpless, and a large group of subordinates rushed to Lin Yi's villa. This also means that the news of Lin Yi being poisoned and injured was true. Lin Yi shouldn't be faking it. Something really happened to him. Of course. No matter what, I was the one who gave the poison. It would be strange if it didn't work. Patriarch Xianchen nodded and said without hiding anything. Oh. This news surprised Jiang Wen. Patriarch Xianchen, you're also Lin Yi's opponent. Then why isn't Lin Yi dead yet? However, Jiang Wen was puzzled. How powerful was the Five Elements sect? Was there a need to poison Lin Yi if they wanted to kill him? They could just send out a couple of masters and Lin Yi would be dead. Due to some reasons, my men and I can't do it ourselves. Patriarch Xianchen waved his hand and said awkwardly, let's not talk about this for now. Continue with your guess. Okay. Back then, Lin Yi had been recuperating in the villa. However, someone came to the villa after that. Jiang Wen said. Who? Patriarch Xianchen frowned. He was a little unhappy that Jiang Wen was keeping him in suspense. Sun Jingyi. Jiang Wen said. Our Yin family was once one of the 4 big and 5 small noble families in the secular world. We know very well what's special about the Sun family. That is, the people of the Sun family have a special incantation that can heal others. Chapter 2997. So she had this ability. In the eyes of the Xianchen ancestor, the level of the common world noble house was very low. He didn't care about it at all. He didn't even care about the matters of the hidden world, so he really did ignore the matters of the common Sun family. According to my guess, that must be the case. After all, only Sun Jingyi had this ability back then. No one else could. Plus, Lin Yi's dantian is destroyed, so he can't use pills. Jiang Wen nodded. Jiang Wen, you've said so much. You want me to find that Sun Jingyi to heal my grand disciple? Xianchen ancestor asked. Sun Jingyi's definitely not going to make it. How Sun's arts can only heal one person, and after that, she'll only be able to heal that person for the rest of her life. It's useless even if you capture her. Jiang Wen waved his hand. What I mean is, you can find someone else from the Sun family and try. That's a good idea. The Xianchen ancestor nodded. He wasn't too willing to capture Sun Jingyi. After all, he'd already made an agreement with Boss Bai. Although Sun Jingyi wasn't Boss Bai's student, she was still someone that Little One and Little 11 had touched last time. If he touched her again, it would be equivalent to not giving Boss Bai face, and it wouldn't be right. So, it was best to find someone else to replace her. I'm just saying. The specifics will depend on you, Xianchen ancestor, Jiang Wen said. Jiang Wen said, but my idea is worth the 2 test subjects, right? Oh. That's true. Since that's the case, you guys can modify those 2 test subjects. The Xianchen ancestor had wanted to use Xiao Guanyin and Mian Huachuan to exchange for some benefits, but he had to admit that Jiang Wen's suggestion was indeed very valuable. Miss Luan looked at Jiang Wen with praise. She felt that Jiang Wen was developing well, and that he was good at making money and negotiating with people. The 2 test subjects were supposed to pay the price, but Jiang Wen tricked them with a piece of information. Yin Siren, find a chance to see if the 2 test subjects meet the requirements, Miss Luan said to Professor Yin. Yes, Ancestral Master Luan. Professor Yin's name was Yin Siren, but he actually addressed Miss Luan as Ancestral Master. Miss Luan was actually Professor Yin's master's master. However, Jiang Wen seemed to have known about this a long time ago, so he didn't mind. Elder Xianchen was a little surprised. In his opinion, even if Miss Luan knew these science and technology, she was probably only about the same as Professor Yin. He didn't expect that as the leader of the center, she was actually Professor Yin's teacher. Miss Luan brought Jiang Wen and the professor to rest, waiting for the 2 test subjects to come. Xianchen, on the other hand, went to investigate House Sun. After learning that Qin was fine, Lin Yi decided to go to Starwest Village. Lin Yi went next door to ask Han Xiaoqiao when Han Jingjing could come out of isolation, but Han Xiaoqiao said that it would take at least a month, so Lin Yi decided to go back to Starwest Village and open the 3rd stone door first. After all, Han Jingjing's isolation didn't have a specific time, at least a month or so. This meant that it might not be finished in a month or so Lin Yi would have returned from Starwest Village long ago. At night, Lin Yi called Meng Yao, Yushu, and his followers together, preparing to talk to them about going to Star West Village. This kind of solemn atmosphere made everyone understand what decision Lin Yi was going to make. Tomorrow, I plan to go back to Star West Village, Lin Yi said to everyone. Ah. Lin Yi, didn't you recover? Why do you want to go back to Star West Village? Meng Yao paused and asked curiously. I don't have much to do recently, mainly. I need money. When I go back, I want to discuss with my old man if I can go back to my old business and earn some quick money, Lin Yi said, a little embarrassed. This was actually one of Lin Yi's secondary goals. Fatty Lai didn't say anything recently, but Lin Yi could feel that he was having a hard time. His villa by Lidhua River was sold, and his car was changed to a second-hand business car. This was enough to show how difficult it was for Fatty Lai. So, as the real boss of Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company, Lin Yi had to do something. Moreover, although Xiaoke didn't say anything, Lin Yi could imagine how difficult it was for Xiaoke's orphanage. It was okay to take in orphans, but most of them had congenital diseases. They were either disabled or had cerebral palsy. The medical fees were endless. Mingyao's mission had come to an end. Now, even if Lin Yi handed in the mission, he couldn't leave the Miss and Shu behind. However, while carrying out this mission, he could still take on some other missions, and it wouldn't delay him. Lin Yi could see that these hidden houses were very powerful. When he wasn't injured, no matter where he was, even if he went to the Heavenly Elixir sect for more than a month, these people didn't dare to come looking for trouble. But once he was injured, even if he was in the villa, these people would still come looking for trouble. So, even if Lin Yi went to do some other missions, as long as he was fine, these hidden houses wouldn't dare to do anything to Meng Yao and the others. When he went to the Heavenly Elixir sect, Xiao Qibing was beaten up badly by Yushu, but he didn't dare to say no. Once he was injured, he would jump out and show his fangs. Ah. You need money. The Miss was slightly stunned. She then remembered about Lin Yi's medical company. Because of Lin Yi's injury, she forgot about it. Now that she thought about it, Lin Yi really did need money. These lackeys actually didn't have a solution. Although they could gather 100 million if they clenched their teeth, it was just a drop in the bucket for the operation of the medical company. It wouldn't be of much use at all. Lin Yi had to find another way to quickly gather a large amount of money. Yes, it's not a shameful thing. What happened to House Lu this time brought too much trouble. Now that my injuries are fine, the next step is to get some money. Lin Yi said. That's right. I'm not a big deal. Then. Let Shu go with you. The Miss hesitated and said. In fact, she wanted to go herself, but she was too embarrassed to say it. With the Miss's personality, naturally, she pushed the responsibility to Shu. Chapter 2998. Who's going? I still have exams to take. Meng Yao glared at Yushu. She was a little embarrassed that her thoughts were exposed. Oh, then Shu can go by herself. Yushu blinked and said. Yao, Shu, I'll go alone this time. I'm not going to play this time, but to discuss something. I don't think it'll be interesting. Plus, I plan to ride the purple lightning beast. It's faster, so I won't drive. Lin Yi didn't plan on bringing the two girls with him. Lin Yi still had to open the third door. This was a secret, and Lin Yi didn't want people to know about it. The Miss and Shu were trustworthy people, but if they were to come, the lackeys would have to come as well. Lin Yi had no reason to reject them. That's fine, it'll be faster. Shu, you're not allowed to go either. Stay with me for exams. The Miss said calmly, but she was a little disappointed. I'll be back soon. Lin Yi smiled. I won't be gone for long this time. Boss, do we need a few people to go with you? Chikuan asked. No need, just leave a few people to protect Yao Yao and Shu. The others have been out for a while, go home and do your own things. I'll find you guys when I have something to do. Lin Yi rejected with a wave of his hand. All right. Chikuan didn't insist. After all, with Lin Yi's strength, it was inconvenient for him to bring lackeys along. Chen Tian, on the other hand, was apologetic. Boss, out of all of us, only House Yu and House Lu are the wealthiest. Now that House Lu is bankrupt, there's a limit to how much we can help. I'm regretting it now. If I hadn't wasted so much money chasing after Jingyi, I'd be able to take out some more now. I'm already very grateful for your kind intentions. I'll think of a way to deal with the rest. Lin Yi waved his hand and said nonchalantly. He needed money for everything, and there were only so many ways he could earn it. The pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, on the other hand, couldn't be brought out into the world again. Kang Xiaoming would probably come looking for trouble again if he did, and he might even use the opportunity to cancel the pill. Lin Yi didn't want any trouble, so he had no choice but to turn the pill into the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. It wasn't time for the practitioner's market yet either, or Lin Yi could have sold another batch of pills. That would have been a huge relief to him. At night, Lin Yi didn't rest. Instead, he went to the villa's yard. Since he decided to leave, the first thing Lin Yi did was to level up his 3 beasts. The purple thunderbolt beast should be faster than before when it reached Earth class, and Lin Yi rode it back with a speed advantage. Feng, come with me back to West Star Village, I'll level you up first. Lin Yi waved at the purple thunderbolt beast. Roar, roar dash, the purple thunderbolt beast heard Lin Yi's words and ran over. Lin Yi found a clean place, sat down cross-legged, and started the second stage of the art of dragon mastery to level up the purple thunderbolt beast. This wasn't the first time the purple thunderbolt beast accepted Lin Yi's true chi transfer, so it didn't panic. Instead, it painfully and happily enjoyed the feeling of leveling up. At this moment, the purple thunderbolt beast was at the peak of the late phase of mystic class, and Lin Yi helped it break through to Earth class. Then, its strength soared until it finally stopped at the peak of the late phase of Earth class. Although this was a leveling up from mystic class to Earth class, it consumed more true chi than the previous leveling up from yellow class to mystic class. But now that Lin Yi's art of dragon mastery was at the peak of the second stage, the speed of circulation and true chi transfer were incomparable. So, it only took a few hours for the purple thunderbolt beast to successfully level up. Next, it was General Weiwu and Skybolt Pig's turn. But General Weiwu was the first spiritual beast to follow Lin Yi, so he gave the opportunity to Skybolt Pig first. Lin Yi didn't care about their modesty. Anyway, it was just a matter of entering Earth class earlier or later. Since Skybolt Pig came first, then it was Skybolt Pig. However, when Lin Yi was leveling up Skybolt Pig, he was shocked by the sparks and lightning not far away. At first, Lin Yi thought it was going to rain. But when he looked carefully, it was the horn on the purple thunderbolt beast's forehead that was releasing lightning. Although the intensity of the lightning released by the purple thunderbolt beast didn't seem strong, it was enough to surprise Lin Yi. Could it be that after the purple thunderbolt beast advanced to Earth class, it could also use martial arts? Previously, Lin Yi heard that the purple thunderbolt beast could use martial arts when it was in Earth class, but he didn't expect it to be true. Moreover, it seemed to be a very powerful and flashy lightning martial art. I wonder how strong it is against the enemy. But Lin Yi was currently leveling up Skybolt Pig, so he didn't have time to test the strength of the purple thunderbolt beast's martial art. He could only wait until the matter at hand was over. However, what surprised Lin Yi was that during these few hours of leveling up Skybolt Pig, Lin Yi witnessed how the purple Thunderbolt Beast's lightning martial art went from jerky to proficient. However, as the purple Thunderbolt Beast continued to use it, the brightness of the lightning became dimmer and dimmer. It seemed like the purple Thunderbolt Beast's physical strength and true energy had been depleted. When a human cultivator used martial arts, it would consume a large amount of physical strength and true energy. It seemed like it was the same for spiritual beasts. However, Lin Yi didn't care about it for the time being. Until Skybolt Pig finished leveling up, Lin Yi asked the purple Thunderbolt Beast, "Little Feng, is this your martial art? Just how powerful is this martial skill of yours?" "Roar roar," the purple Thunderbolt Beast said weakly. "Gee. Skybolt Pig used his claws to write on the ground and translated, "If you are proficient in using it, it should be about the same as your Earth-class martial arts 9th style. However, there is a limit to the number of times you can use it. You can only use it 2 to 3 times. "Oh. Only the 9th style." Lin Yi was a little depressed. If it was the 9th style, there really wasn't much of an advantage. Because all of Lin Yi's little brothers were already Earth-class peak late phase experts, and they were already preparing to start learning martial arts. Using the 9th style wouldn't be difficult at all. However, Lin Yi's eyes suddenly narrowed, and he asked, "You're saying that it's about the same as my Earth-class martial arts 9th style? Are you referring to the Frenzy Fire Fist or the Frenzy Fire 8 trigram palm?" Chapter 2999. What? Lin Yi was pleasantly surprised after hearing Skybolt Pig's explanation. The 9th style of Raging Fire 8 trigrams palm was something that could instantly kill a heaven ranker. He could only use it once, but the purple electric beast could use it twice or thrice. What kind of concept was this? In other words, even if Lin Yi faced 3 or 4 heaven rankers, he would be able to handle it. Of course, Lin Yi didn't know if he would have an advantage when facing a heaven ranker, but even a heaven ranker would be heavily injured if he were to face 4 attacks from the beast. "Then can you use it proficiently now?" Lin Yi quickly asked. "Roar roar." The purple electric beast shook its head. "Gee. Skybolt Pig translated, "Little Feng said that it can't use the full effect of the martial skill. It can only use 70 to 80% of it. It should be able to kill a heaven rank middle stage master, but it's a bit weak against a heaven rank middle stage master. It's okay, practice more then." Although Lin Yi was a little disappointed, he was more surprised. Because a spirit beast could use martial skills, then Lin Yi could go on missions and earn money without worry. With the purple electric beast at home, it was equivalent to Lin Yi guarding the place. Even if a heaven ranker came, Lin Yi wouldn't be afraid. In the end, the only one left was General Weiwu. After leveling it up to Earth-class late-phase peak dog, the sky was getting brighter. It was a busy night, but Lin Yi was disappointed that Skybolt Pig and General Weiwu didn't have any martial skills. General Weiwu's lack of martial skills was within Lin Yi's expectations. After all, it wasn't a real spirit beast, but a pseudo-spirit beast that Lin Yi forcefully upgraded. However, Skybolt Pig was a spirit beast with the ability to find treasures, but it didn't have any martial skills either. Lin Yi didn't know why it leveled up. Did it increase its ability to find treasures? In the morning, Lin Yi prepared a sumptuous breakfast. This was Lin Yi's farewell feast with Yao Yao, Shu, and the others before he left. "After I leave, Chiton and Chintian can stay here. Everyone else can go back." Lin Yi said to everyone, "You all have your own things to do. You can come back when you have something to do." Everyone nodded. What Lin Yi said was the truth. Now that Lin Yi had nothing to do, those clowns had all gone into hiding. As long as Lin Yi's strength was there, no matter where he was, nothing would happen to the family. At least, the hidden forces wouldn't dare to cause trouble. Jingyi, if you don't have anything else to do, go spend time with Faubert. After you met him, you didn't go with him. You only cared about me in the villa. Lin Yi turned to look at Sun Jingyi. Sun Jingyi had been living in the villa recently. Because of Faubert, Meng Yao didn't reject Sun Jingyi at all. She prepared a room for her upstairs. But I have to go home first. Sun Jingyi said, according to House Sun's rules, after treating someone, the children of House Sun have to go back to the ancestral hall to register their genealogy. If there are no accidents, that person will be the other half of the children of House Sun. Sun Jingyi blushed as she said this. She carefully looked at the miss and sighed in relief when she saw that the miss didn't have any other expression. Lin Yi was slightly taken aback. He didn't expect House Sun to have this rule. He quickly said, Jingyi, I'll go visit Elder Sun after I come back. I'll tell him about us. Since this was House Sun's rule, Lin Yi had feelings for Sun Jingyi. He naturally had to give Sun Jingyi an explanation. However, what made Lin Yi feel relieved was that the miss and Shu didn't show any dissatisfaction. When Sun Jingyi came, they showed great dislike towards her. However, they were very friendly towards Sun Jingyi. This was probably because Sun Jingyi saved him and was Faubert and Grandma Sun's daughter. Jingyi responded softly, blushing a little. Actually, if there's time this time, Lin Yi, it'd be best if you brought Jingyi back. Meng Yao said, of course, if you can't make it this time, you can tell Grandpa Lin first. Ah. Okay. Lin Yi nodded and looked at the miss gratefully. Her personality seemed to have changed a little. Meng Yao was a little embarrassed by Lin Yi's gaze. She said, Jingyi has done so much for you, and she likes to be with you. Shu and I are very happy to see that, but we still need to tell Xiao Xiao about this. That's true. I'll go to the Ice Palace soon and talk to Xiao Xiao about this personally. I'll tell her about Jingyi and Xinyan. Lin Yi didn't feel pressured towards the Ice Palace anymore. Although it couldn't be said that Lin Yi's strength was above the Ice Palace, it was because Lin Yi had stepped into Sky Class, and the distance between him and Rock Candy was getting closer and closer. In front of her, he didn't have that unreachable feeling anymore. Sun Jingyi lowered her head, too shy to say anything. Even she didn't think that things would go so smoothly between her and Lin Yi. After saying goodbye to everyone, Lin Yi rode the purple lightning beast and disappeared in front of everyone's eyes. It was only dawn, and there weren't many people and cars out there. Lin Yi and the purple lightning beast took a secluded path, so no one noticed them. At the same time, in the snowy valley, there were 2 uninvited guests today. The disciples of the snowy valley had stopped a car in the snowy valley. This is the snowy valley. If you too are here to explore or to travel, please stop. The patrolling disciple stopped Boss Tang's car. Boss Tang didn't dare act rashly. This was the snowy valley, a place that was much stronger than the hidden sections. Even a normal patrolling disciple had the same strength as him. Boss Tang said respectfully, Young warrior, we are here to look for someone. This is the snowy valley, right? Yes, this is the snowy valley. Who are you looking for? The patrolling disciple nodded. His expression softened when he heard that Boss Tang was looking for someone. We are looking for Tang Yun. May I ask if she is here? Boss Tang asked. Chapter 3000. I am Tang Yun's father. And this is Tang Yun's brother. We are from the hidden Tang family, and we are here to visit her. Boss Tang was shocked and quickly explained. What? You said you are Elder Tang's father. The patrolling disciple was stunned. The words of the two people in the car made him dumbfounded. Didn't Tang Yun's parents live in the Snowy Valley? Who in the Snowy Valley didn't know? These two people could have pretended to be Tang Yun's father. Wasn't this exposed in an instant? However, the patrolling disciple didn't expose them on the spot. Since these people were using the name of Tang Yun's father to deceive them, they had to take them down first and see what sinister motives they had. Yes. Boss Tang didn't know what the patrolling disciple was thinking, so he nodded immediately. The disciple said calmly, "You guys wait here for a while, I will go report." "Alright," Boss Tang nodded. The patrolling disciple took out a piece of paper and stuck it on the windshield of Boss Tang's car. On it was written, "Patrolling Disciple 19, waiting to report." Boss Tang and Tang Yu didn't know what was going on, so they quietly waited for the patrolling disciple to report back, but what they got was a group of aggressive Snowy Valley disciples. Every single one of these Snow Valley disciples had the strength of an early stage to late stage peak. The moment they arrived, they surrounded Tang Boss and Tang Yu. The two of them didn't even dare to think of resisting. In fact, even if these people weren't Earth class, Boss Tang wouldn't dare act rashly. After all, this was the Snowy Valley's territory. No matter how arrogant he was, he wouldn't come to the Snowy Valley to show off. Wouldn't that be suicide? Plus, he was here to acknowledge his family, so he had to show a friendly attitude. What is the meaning of this? Boss Tang didn't think that Tang Yun wouldn't come, but a group of Snowy Valley disciples, and they didn't look like they had good intentions. Take them down first, and wait for me to pass the message to Elder Tang before making a decision. The one on duty today was another elder of the Snow Valley, Elder Qin. Because this matter involved Tang Yun, he wouldn't make a decision on his own. Instead, he took down the two people who claimed to be Tang Yun's father and brother and waited for Tang Yun to deal with this matter. Originally, Boss Tang wanted to defend himself, but when he heard that Elder Qin wanted to pass the message to Tang Yun, he let out a sigh of relief. Once Tang Yun arrived, everything would be easy to discuss. Therefore, eldest brother Tang gave Tang Yu a meaningful look. The two of them did not resist and obediently followed the disciples of the Snow Valley to the reception room of the Snow Valley, where they were temporarily detained. Tang Yun was in the middle of training, and the Grand Elder's sudden visit surprised Tang Yun. Tang Yun waved her hand and said to the disciples in the room, "Yes. Elder Tang." Seeing that Tang Yun had come, the disciples also left the guest hall respectfully. At this moment, only Tang Yun, Tang Yu, and Tang Yun were left in the guest hall. "Tang Yun. I didn't expect you to be so powerful. You are already an elder of the Snow Valley. As your father, I am really happy and proud for you." Tang Yun didn't know what to say. After a long time, he finally said this. Of course, if these words were said by other father and daughter, it would be very normal. But when it came to Tang Yun and Tang Yun, it was really a bit funny. "What are you doing here?" Tang Yun's face, other than the complicated expression when she first entered the room, had already returned to her indifferent expression. She had cultivated the heartless art, and her whole person was cold. Even when facing Lin Yi, her whole aura would not change. Although Tang Yun did not want to, there was no other way. This was the mantra. The more she cultivated it, the more her aura would change. Tang Yun was shocked. Lin Yi was already a sky-class early phase master. It hasn't been long since I last saw him. His leveling speed is really fast. Moreover, the hidden house Xiao was already destroyed. Thinking about it, the hidden house Xiao was a strong enemy that Lin Yi provoked when he was in Songshan City. She didn't expect that Lin Yi had already turned it into a stepping stone. Tang Yun was sincerely happy for Lin Yi. Although Tang Yun knew that she and Lin Yi probably didn't have any interaction, she still imagined that even if she practiced the heartless arts and became an inheritor and ascended to the heavenly Tao, if Lin Yi also ascended to the heavenly Tao, they could still meet at that time. However, the fact that Lin Yi was poisoned and his meridians and dantian were destroyed shocked Tang Yun. Although she knew that Lin Yi had self-recovery ability after being injured, could he still recover when his dantian and meridians were destroyed? At least in Tang Yun's understanding of practitioners, this kind of injury couldn't be healed. But Lin Yi actually recovered, which made her feel relieved. At the same time, she was glad that she came to see Tang Yun. It was a good thing, at least she knew about Lin Yi. Tang Yun's words made Tang Yun's attitude towards the two soften. Maybe it was because she was happy for Lin Yi. Tang Yun nodded and said, "I see. I understand. Then tell me your purpose of coming here." Tang Yun looked at Tang Yun. The matter of recognizing relatives should be brought up by Tang Yun. After all, Tang Yun was Tang Yun's father. As a brother, he couldn't say that he came to recognize his sister, right? That would be a bit impolite. After all, Tang Yun was the leader of this matter. Tang Yun wasn't Tang Yun's brother from the same mother, but a half-brother. Tang Yun was a bit embarrassed, but he knew that this kind of thing could only be brought up by him, so he said, "It's like this, Tang Yun, I want you to go back to the hidden house Tang, to recognize your ancestors." Oh. Tang Yun heard Tang Yun's words and suddenly felt that it was a bit funny. "Mr. Tang, I have nothing to do with the hidden Tang family. Moreover, you were the one who kicked me out. Why should I go back?" This. Tang Yun was speechless. Yes, there was no practical benefit for Tang Yun to return to the Tang family. She was already an elder of the Snowy Valley and had a lot of power. She didn't care about hiding her identity in the Tang family. Secondly, he was the one who kicked Tang Yun out. Now that Tang Yun came back, it was indeed a bit unreasonable. "If there is nothing else, please go back. Since you don't want to tell the truth, then there is no need for us to talk anymore." Tang Yun looked at Tang Yun coldly. Tang Yun looked at Boss Tang coldly and said. Naturally, she didn't think that Boss Tang had a conscience and came over to acknowledge his family. She was afraid that he had some ulterior motive. This. Tang Yun looked at Tang Yun for help because he realized that he was a bit guilty in front of Tang Yun. Although Tang Yun didn't show her strength, her aura and the attitude of the Snowy Valley disciples were enough to show that Tang Yun's strength was not ordinary. Otherwise, she wouldn't be an elder of the Snowy Valley. Perhaps Tang Yun's strength had already surpassed Tang Taijung's, so Tang Yun didn't dare to speak in front of her. Tang Yun had no choice but to bite the bullet and said, "Sister Tang Yun, I know that after I said these words, you must have a bad impression of me. But sometimes there is no other way. As a disciple of the hidden Tang family, there are some things that I have to say. So please forgive me." Chapter 3002. Awe. Tang Yuyu heard Tang Yun call him a brother and was stunned. He couldn't believe his ears and looked at Tang Yun in disbelief. You. What did you call me? You're willing to recognize me as your brother. Brother Yuyu, my birth mother said that you are a good person, so no matter what happens between me and the hidden Tang family, I will still recognize you as my brother. Tang Yun nodded and said, "So, if there's anything, just say it." Okay. Tang Yuyu was pleasantly surprised and quickly said, "Actually, this matter is related to Lin Yi." Lin Yi? What about him? Tang Yun frowned. What's his relationship with your family? It's not a relationship, it's our hidden Tang family. We're afraid that Lin Yi will come looking for trouble. As he said that, Tang Yuyu told Tang Yun about Grandpa Tang's worry for Lin Yi after seeing the hidden Zhao family being destroyed. However, Tang Yun didn't know whether to laugh or cry after hearing it. She knew Lin Yi's personality very well. Not to mention the hidden Tang family, it was a family that had some relationship with her. Even if there wasn't a relationship, she wouldn't take the initiative to provoke Lin Yi, and Lin Yi wouldn't have the mood to cause trouble. After all, although the Tang family was unhappy, it wasn't to the point where Lin Yi had to remember to settle the score. You don't have to worry about this, Lin Yi won't be so bored to find trouble with you. As long as you don't provoke him, nothing will happen, Tang Yun waved her hand and said. If that's the case, then can you help me make a phone call? Then we'll go and apologize. Boss Tang was relieved when he heard that Lin Yi wouldn't settle accounts. However, he still wanted to build a good relationship with Lin Yi, so he wanted Tang Yun to be his bridge. Humans were like this. Often, after one thing subsided, they would think of something else. They would never be satisfied. Previously, Boss Tang was worried that Lin Yi would cause trouble for the hidden Tang family. Now that the problem was solved, Boss Tang began to think about whether the hidden Tang family could get any benefits from Lin Yi. Tang Yuyu blushed a little. He didn't expect his father to ask this question directly. It made him lose face. After all, he didn't want the little bit of kinship he had cultivated with Tang Yun to be washed away by benefits. Tang Yun's face changed at Boss Tang's words. It wasn't that she didn't want to help, but she couldn't. What if eldest brother Tang went to look for Lin Yi? That he was the son-in-law of the hidden Tang family. Then wouldn't Lin Yi be very puzzled? Since when did he have a girlfriend with the surname Tang? Tang Yun absolutely wouldn't allow this to happen. However, Tang Yun was afraid that if she refused, with Boss Tang's personality, he would still secretly look for Lin Yi. So, Tang Yun hesitated for a moment and said, "Don't bother Lin Yi. He has his own things to do. If you bother him, he might kill you. If that happens, I can't do anything about it. If you want to find a backer, just say that Elder Tang of Snow Valley is your daughter." Tang Yun didn't want to get involved in these things, especially when it was the hidden Tang family that abandoned her. But now, in order not to disturb Lin Yi, she could only say this to Boss Tang. "Aw. That's great." Boss Tang was overjoyed. He originally wanted to take the roundabout route to save the country and let Lin Yi become the backer of the hidden Tang family. This way, the hidden Tang family could sit on the fishing platform in the hidden world. But now, with the backing of an ancient sect, it was much more useful than Lin Yi. No matter how powerful Lin Yi was, he was only famous in the hidden world. In the ancient world, it was nothing. As long as Tang Yun was willing to support the hidden Tang family, then there was nothing for the hidden Tang family to worry about. Yes. Tang Yun was a little dispirited. It turned out that her biological father coming here was fake. His real purpose was to seek benefits. So, Tang Yun didn't have the mood to chat with him. She just needed to let him achieve his goal. "Sister Tang Yun, I'm really sorry." Tang Yun sighed and said helplessly. "It's not your fault." Tang Yun shook her head. "If there's nothing else, you can leave. I still need to train. Then, let's take a picture together. I'll hang it in the house. That way, people will know about our hidden Tang family's powerful background." Boss Tang didn't see Tang Yun's interest waning. He rubbed his hands and asked excitedly. "Okay." Tang Yun agreed without thinking. Only by letting the hidden Tang family feel that their background was enough would they not bother Lin Yi. Tang Yun didn't want to tell the truth to someone like Boss Tang, so she could only temporarily satisfy his greed. Tang Yuyu helped Boss Tang and Tang Yun take a photo together, and Tang Yuyu and Tang Yun took a photo together. Boss Tang was very satisfied. Yun, then you practice well here. I won't disturb you anymore. I have to go back to the family and report to your grandfather. Oh. Okay. Tang Yun said faintly. Dad, aren't we here to bring Auntie Xiaoming back? Tang Yun frowned and reminded. Boss Tang glared at Tang Yun and pretended to be very concerned. Your Auntie Xiaoming is Yun Yun's birth mother. It's natural for her to stay here with Yun Yun. How can she go back? How much will she miss Yun Yun when she goes back? Ah. Tang Yun was stunned. He couldn't help but smile bitterly in his heart. How could he not know that his father didn't want to bring Auntie Xiaoming back? He already had Tang Yun's support. It was no longer important whether Auntie Xiaoming returned to the hidden Tang family or not. If she went back, it might cause his mother and House Yu to be unhappy. But if she didn't go back, he would have Tang Yun's support and wouldn't offend the hidden House Yu. Boss Tang had a good plan. But Tang Yun couldn't say anything. After all, he wasn't the head of the family. He could only helplessly say to Tang Yun, I'll go see Auntie Xiaoming. When I was young, Auntie Xiaoming was very good to me. She was like her own son. Okay. Tang Yun nodded and agreed. She looked at Boss Tang. Are you going? Then. I'll go and see. Boss Tang blamed Tang Yun for being a busybody. He could just go back. Why would he go and see Xiaoming? What if she wanted to go back to the hidden Zhao family after seeing her? You don't need to go. How could Tang Yun not see through Boss Tang's thoughts? She was completely disappointed in him and directly refused. Oh, okay. Yun, I'll listen to whatever you say. Boss Tang quickly said. He was relieved in his heart. Tang Yun was helpless. He thought that his father was too embarrassing. But he couldn't do anything. He silently followed Tang Yun and walked into the snow valley. Chapter 3004. I'm not angry. I'm helping the hidden Tang family out of respect for you and Little Ming's mother. I have nothing to do with that person. Tang Yun's voice was cold and emotionless. She had no feelings for the hidden Tang family to begin with, and it was even more so after practicing the heartless arts. Sigh. Tang Yuyu sighed and smiled bitterly. I'm already very happy that you acknowledge me. I can't force anything else. Oh right, tell your father not to look for Lin Yi. Otherwise, if something bad happens, it won't be something we can control, Tang Yun reminded him again. Okay, I'll tell my father, Tang Yu nodded. The two of them walked to Little Ming's place. Little Ming was very happy to see Tang Yu come to see her, but when she found out that Boss Tang was also here, she couldn't help but feel disappointed. Tang Yun saw this and didn't say anything. After all, Little Ming still had some feelings for Boss Tang. After so many years, she followed him and didn't have any contact with other men. It wasn't easy to completely forget Boss Tang. But in Tang Yun's eyes, it was almost impossible for the two of them to be together again, unless Boss Tang's personality changed. Tang Yuyu and Little Ming chatted for a while and left. After all, Boss Tang was still waiting, so Tang Yun didn't send him off. She found a disciple to send him off, and she stayed to chat with Little Ming's mother. There weren't many opportunities like this. Tang Yun spent most of her time in the Snow Valley cultivating, and Wang Yuming and Wang Yujia's personalities were different. Wang Yujia was overbearing and unruly. She walked around the Snow Valley and could see Tang Yun at any time, but Wang Yuming followed the rules of the Snow Valley and didn't walk around as she pleased. Eldest brother Tang happily rushed back to the hidden Tang family. Tang Yuyu could only helplessly follow him back to the hidden Tang family. Grandfather Tang let out a sigh of relief when he found out about the outcome of the matter. However, at the same time, he prepared to host a banquet and invite the elders of the other hidden families to celebrate the fact that the hidden Tang family had the backing of the ancient sect, Snow Valley. Of course, it was just a celebration to show off in front of others. Lin Yi naturally didn't know that his action of destroying the hidden Zhao family had caused such a huge confusion to the hidden Tang family. At this moment, Lin Yi had already arrived at the West Star Mountain village riding Little Wind. It happened to be evening. When Lin Yi appeared in his courtyard, Lin Dongfang noticed him. "You're back." When Lin Dongfang saw Lin Yi riding a spirit beast back, he wasn't surprised at all. He didn't express any surprise towards the spirit beast either. Instead, he asked in a very normal manner. "Yes, old man, you knew I was coming back." Lin Yi was stunned. He didn't expect old man Lin's expression to be so calm. "When I heard that you were crippled, I thought that you would return. However, now that you've recovered and returned, I am surprised." Old man Lin said as he came to the purple electric tempest beast's side. He patted it up and down and said, "This little thing looks pretty good. Can it be eaten?" Lin Yi was instantly speechless. The purple electric tempest beast had never seen old man Lin before. When it heard that old man Lin was going to summon it, it immediately showed hostility. It widened its eyes and roared, "Roar, roar. What are you roaring for?" Old man Lin pulled the purple electric tempest beast in front of him, which gave the purple electric tempest beast a huge fright. What kind of great strength was this? Being pulled like this, it almost tumbled down. One should know that the purple electric tempest beast was very strong. However, this seemingly weak old man in front of it was able to pull it down. One could imagine how strong his strength was. The purple electric tempest beast immediately realized that this person in front of it was an existence that couldn't be provoked. It subconsciously wanted to take 2 steps back. However, it realized that old man Lin's hand was on its horn, preventing it from moving at all. Roar, roar, roar. The purple electric tempest beast was instantly anxious. Suddenly, a flash of lightning flashed on its horn. It followed old man Lin's hand and hit old man Lin's body. It can even discharge electricity. Old man Lin looked at the purple electric tempest beast strangely. He didn't care about the lightning at all. It was as if the lightning didn't even hit him. After being hit by the purple electric tempest beast's lightning martial skill, old man Lin was completely fine. He could even speak. "This electricity is such a waste. It can even light up a light bulb." Lin Yi clicked his tongue. However, Lin Yi was already used to old man Lin's heaven-defying strength since he was young. However, this time, he was quite shocked. The purple electric tempest beast's lightning martial skill could instantly kill a peak mid-stage heaven-class expert. However, it was actually nothing to old man Lin. Previously, Lin Yi felt that old man Lin was extremely powerful. He was stronger than old man Lin, and that was why he had never beaten him before. Now, it seemed like old man Lin wasn't just average strength. He was super strong. "Alright, old man, stop teasing it." Along the way, little Fong carried me back, and it was quite tiring. "It is quite loyal," Lin Yi said to old man Lin. "Oh." Old man Lin let go of his hand and didn't make things difficult for the purple electric tempest beast anymore. However, the purple electric tempest beast was so scared that it hid in a corner and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. It thought to itself, "Lin Yi's family is indeed terrifying." Lin Yi was already a terrifying existence, and it didn't expect that there was an old man in his family who was even more terrifying than him. He didn't even react to the lightning martial skill, and he was extremely powerful. You are back. Are you going up the mountain? Old Man Lin looked at Lin Yi and asked. Yes, I have completed the second level. I'm going to go and have a look. Lin Yi nodded. Is everything settled in East Ocean City? Old Man Lin asked. Yes, but there was a problem. One of my younger sisters was captured and sent to the Heavenly Elixir sect, Lin Yi said. Qin Shi. Old Man Lin asked. I say, old man, how do you know everything? Did you install a surveillance camera on me? Lin Yi was stunned. He realized that he couldn't hide anything from Old Man Lin. No, I just paid more attention to you recently. Your growth has finally accelerated, and I am very pleased, Old Man Lin said. When you come back next time, I will probably be able to tell you some things. Oh. Lin Yi was slightly stunned. He then asked, You can't tell me now? Not yet. Old Man Lin shook his head. Chapter 3005. By the way, are there any missions recently? Lin Yi changed the topic. Are you short of money? Old Lin looked at Lin Yi. I thought you had already adapted to a comfortable life. My life now is not as comfortable as it used to be. Compared to the life of an assassin, it's child's play. It's just that my strength has increased, and I don't feel that it's that dangerous as a cultivator anymore. Lin Yi smiled bitterly and said, Every world has its own rules. If you don't step into it, you'll never understand it. Since you want to take on missions, I can help you think about it. Of course, don't take on the missions from before. I'll help you find some high-end missions with high pay, Old Lin agreed. All right, the more the better, Lin Yi replied, Of course, don't make it too difficult. I don't want to die for money. Oh, I'll help you check, Old Lin said nonchalantly. That night, Lin Yi left Little Feng at Old Lin's place while he rushed to West Star Mountain. After the second stone door opened, Lin Yi remembered that there was a stone tablet beside the third stone door that was completely different from the first stone door. There was a line of words written in seal script on it. You can open the stone door after mastering the second level of the Art of Dragon Mastery. In this way, Lin Yi didn't have to abide by the 5-year promise on the night of the full moon. As long as he mastered the second level of the Art of Dragon Mastery, he could open the third stone door. Now that Lin Yi had mastered the second level of the Art of Dragon Mastery, he should be able to enter the stone door smoothly. Lin Yi arrived in front of the Xinyuan Cave Mansion with ease. Now, Lin Yi had a rough idea of what was going on. The Xinyuan Cave Mansion didn't exist since ancient times, but was built later. Moreover, according to Zhao Yazi, the 5-year promise seemed to be specially prepared for Lin Yi. Lin Yi's heart was full of suspicions. Ever since Old Lin kicked him off the cliff, he seemed to have walked into a path that someone had planned for him. Every step he took was controlled by that person. Who was the one who had planned all of this? Of course, that person obviously didn't mean any harm. In fact, he was full of kindness. After all, Lin Yi had all the benefits. Although Lin Yi didn't have a good sect background and didn't have a large amount of treasures for cultivation, it could be said that the Jade Space and the Xinyuan Cave Mansion were enough to make up for the difference. Otherwise, how would Lin Yi be able to step on all the opponents who were stronger than him? This was enough to prove that the things in the Xinyuan Cave Mansion were very powerful. They weren't any weaker than the top inheritances of the ancient sections. No matter how strong Zhang Naipeo was, he was still restrained in the end. And so, Lin Yi admired the person who built the Xinyuan Cave Mansion. He didn't know why this person would help him, and what was the relationship between him and him. After building the Xinyuan Cave Mansion, why didn't he show up? Old Lin probably knew about all of this, or at least part of it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have kicked Lin Yi down. Now that old Lin didn't want to say anything, Lin Yi could only guess in his heart. It wasn't nighttime yet. The last time Lin Yi came here, he had tested it. The stone door couldn't be opened before nighttime, but this time, Lin Yi didn't know if it was possible. The third stone door didn't have a full moon, but the night didn't have to be a full moon. So, Lin Yi went up and tried again. Unfortunately, the stone door didn't open. It seemed that even if a full moon wasn't needed, a normal night was still needed. Night was a prerequisite for opening the stone door. This was also within Lin Yi's expectations, but Lin Yi couldn't be sure without testing it. Since it was still early, Lin Yi calmed down and sat cross-legged at the entrance of the cave. He began to condense the forging fire, slowly waiting for the night to fall. Lin Yi had basically reached a bottleneck on his path of cultivation. The early stage of the Heaven Realm had been completely stabilized, and he was just waiting for an opportunity to advance to the peak of the early stage of the Heaven Realm. It wasn't easy to break through to the peak of the early stage of the Heaven Realm unless Lin Yi had a chi-gathering pill or touched the bottleneck in battle. This was also why many cultivators didn't have the opportunity to break through in battle and could only choose to cultivate in seclusion to find an opportunity. Of course, there were some cultivators who kept taking chi-gathering pills until they reached the peak of the late stage of the Heaven Realm. But then they wouldn't have any more pills to take, and they wouldn't be able to cultivate on their own. This was equivalent to losing the opportunity to advance to the Heavenly Way. Although the chance of advancing to the Heavenly Way sounded very slim, many practitioners still held a glimmer of hope for it. They would not take chi-gathering pills if they could. Besides, other than the Heavenly Elixir sect, which sect would have too many chi-gathering pills? Slowly, the night fell. Lin Yi put away the forging fire in his hand and looked up at the dark blue night sky. The moon wasn't a full moon, but a crescent moon. Lin Yi stood up and walked towards the direction of the cave. He stopped in front of the stone door in front of the cave and slowly placed his hand on the stone door. He then began to circulate the art of dragon mastery. With his previous experience, Lin Yi was familiar with the process. The stone door recognized its master and slowly rose, revealing the Xinyuan cave mansion inside. The scene inside the stone door was almost the same as the last time Lin Yi came. Lin Yi didn't stay for long and went straight to the second stone door at the back of the hall. The last time Lin Yi opened this stone door, it really wasted a lot of energy. The stone door made the physical strength and vital qi in his body go through a big cycle. But this time, Lin Yi had experience. He calmly placed his hand on the second stone door and then began to circulate the art of dragon mastery. But this time, what surprised Lin Yi was that the vital qi in his body wasn't automatically sucked into the stone door to complete a cycle like the last time. Instead, just like the first stone door, Lin Yi circulated the mantra and the stone door slowly opened. Once the stone door opened, Lin Yi and the space in the jade pendant naturally re-established a connection. Seeing the scene in front of him, Lin Yi couldn't help but ask, "Jiao Lao, this second stone door is completely different from the last time." Chapter 3006. So that's how it is. Then in front of the third stone door, is there a corresponding test? Lin Yi quickly asked after listening. Of course. Zhao Yazi said, it should be similar to the last time. I understand. Lin Yi nodded. He was confident in his heart. He quickly walked into the second stone door, bypassed the high platform, and came to the front of the third stone door. He saw the words on the stone tablet next to the stone door, "You can open the stone door after you have achieved the second level of the divine art." Now, Lin Yi had advanced to the second level of the art of dragon mastery. There should be no problem opening the stone door. Lin Yi placed his hand on the third stone door and activated the second level of the Art of Dragon Mastery. Just like the last time, at this moment, all the chi in Lin Yi's body was mobilized, and his Art of Dragon Mastery was automatically forced to the second level of the Art of Dragon Mastery. At this time, there was no need for Lin Yi to activate the mental cultivation method. The mental cultivation method was running on its own, and the energy in Lin Yi's body was slowly injected into the stone door through his palm. However, with the experience of opening the second stone door, Lin Yi did not panic at all. Instead, he faced everything in front of him calmly. As time passed, the chi in Lin Yi's body became less and less, and finally, all of it entered the stone door. Then, the energy that entered the stone door flowed back into Lin Yi's body again. Unsurprisingly, the energy this time was purer than in Lin Yi's body. The stone door once again helped Lin Yi to complete the filtration, and then, the energy flowed back into the stone door, back and forth. Finally, the third stone door suddenly made a rumbling sound, and the energy flow between Lin Yi and the stone door stopped, and the stone door began to rise slowly. Phew! Lin Yi let out a long breath. It seemed that the third stone door was opened in the same way as the second stone door. Kid Lin, what are you waiting for? It's almost daybreak, why don't you go in and see what's inside? Elder Zhao's voice rang in Lin Yi's ear just as he was catching his breath. Lin Yi snapped out of his daze and turned around. He didn't know when, but the sky was already turning white. This time, it took longer than the last time because the second level of the Art of Dragon Mastery had more energy than the first, so Lin Yi was pressed for time. It's already so tense this time. Won't it be daybreak next time? Lin Yi was startled and hurriedly asked, if there is a stone door at the peak of the third layer, will I be trapped for 5 years? 5 years. There's no need for that. The 5-year promise is long gone. You just need to wait for a day. At night, you can use the same method to open the door. Zhao Yazi said. That's good. Lin Yi let out a sigh of relief. If he had to wait for 5 years, wouldn't he be waiting for death? Who knew what would happen at home? Behind the third stone door, there was still no grand hall like the first stone door. Similar to the second stone door, it was a very simple room. There was still no light source in the room, but it was still as bright as day. However, Lin Yi was already used to it. In front of the stone room, there was still a small platform. On top of the platform, there was still a small antique box. Other than that, there was nothing in the third stone door. This made Lin Yi extremely disappointed. Lin Yi was already a heaven rank expert. He used to dream of obtaining a powerful heaven rank divine weapon behind the third stone door. But now, other than a box, there was nothing else. How could a divine weapon be stored in such a small box? Thinking about it, it wouldn't be able to fit it in. Lin Yi walked towards the platform with flagging interest and took down the antique box. The small box was light as a feather, similar to the previous one. This made Lin Yi even more disappointed. It seemed that other than the mantra, there wouldn't be anything else inside. There's no divine weapon here. Lin Yi asked Zhao Yazi in disappointment. If there is, then there is. If there isn't, then there isn't. What you see is what you get. Zhao Yazi seemed like he didn't know what was behind the stone door, so he said something ambiguous. Lin Yi was speechless. But since he was here, it was always good to have something. Lin Yi could only place his hopes on the fourth stone door. Because in the third stone room, Lin Yi saw the fourth stone door. Perhaps this stone room was set up according to the sky, earth, black, and yellow. It was just that he came in 5 years late, so his strength and mantra weren't in sync. Or could it be that in theory, the the third stage of the art of dragon mastery was the real mantra that complemented the Earth-class mantra. Lin Yi couldn't figure it out. Because every mantra was linked to different levels of strength, there was no reference. Lin Yi didn't know if his guess was correct. When he came to the front of the fourth stone door, there was another stone tablet. As Lin Yi expected, there was a sentence carved in seal script on it. Third stage perfection, weapon in hand, use the weapon to hit the door to enter. What? Weapon in hand. Lin Yi was stunned. Wasn't this a trap? Where did the weapon come from? There was only a small box behind the third stone door. It probably contained the mantra. Where could he get a divine weapon? Could it be that the fourth stone door could be opened by simply hitting the door with a heaven-class weapon? It wasn't a very reliable guess, but no matter how he thought about it, he really didn't know where he could get his hands on a divine weapon. Seeing that the sky was about to brighten, Lin Yi didn't stay any longer. He went straight out of the stone door and came to the entrance of the cave. At this moment, the sky had just brightened. Lin Yi waited until the stone door was completely closed before he left and walked towards the village. This time, Lin Yi came back in a low-key manner. The people in the village didn't know. It was already dawn now. If Lin Yi directly went down the mountain with a small box empty-handed, it would inevitably arouse suspicion. Although the Xianyuan cave mansion was at the foot of the other side of the West Star Mountain and the possibility of being discovered was not high, Lin Yi still decided to hunt a beast on the mountain for caution. Otherwise, Lin Yi's inexplicable return to the West Star Mountain village, and the first thing he did was to go up the mountain instead of going home. Chapter 3007. However, when Lin Yi just entered the mountain range, his face changed slightly and became incomparably dignified. Because Lin Yi felt the aura of a cultivator in the mountain range. It was the fluctuation of true energy. The perception of Heaven's stage was really extraordinary. If it was the previous Lin Yi, he definitely wouldn't have such a great ability. But since he set foot in Heaven's stage, even if he was just an expert in the early stage of Heaven's stage, Lin Yi's perception of the outside world was extremely strong. Moreover, according to Lin Yi's perception, this true energy fluctuation wasn't just from one person. It should be from 2 to 3 people. Lin Yi subconsciously converged his own aura so that he didn't even have the aura of an ordinary person. He hesitated slightly in his heart. Should he go and see what was going on? After all, the appearance of cultivators here didn't seem to have much to do with Lin Yi at first glance. But on second thought, this was West Star Mountain Village. How could there be cultivators in West Star Mountain Village? This place was remote. There weren't even tourists here. Where did the cultivators come from? Why did this cultivator come? What was he doing here? Lin Yi couldn't figure it out at all. But since he couldn't figure it out, it was even more suspicious. So, after hesitating for a moment, Lin Yi still walked forward. The cultivators here were probably coming for him. Otherwise, Lin Yi really couldn't find any other reason. The aura of the cultivators was getting closer and closer. Lin Yi could be sure that there were a total of 3 cultivators in front of him. Moreover, their strength levels weren't low. One of them was an expert at the peak of the early stage of Heaven's stage, and the other 2 were actually experts at the peak of the late stage of Heaven's stage. At this distance, Lin Yi could already sense their strength, because all of them were unleashing their full power without holding anything back. What surprised Lin Yi was that these 3 people didn't seem to be a group because they were fighting. What was going on? Lin Yi felt even more strange. It seemed that these 3 cultivators didn't come to find him, but why did they come here to fight? Should I go or not? What made Lin Yi hesitate was that the other side had 2 peak late-stage heaven rank powerhouses. It wasn't easy to meddle in the affairs of heaven rank powerhouses. Lin Yi didn't want to get involved in other people's business. However, if he didn't know the background of these three people, Lin Yi wouldn't be at ease. These three people suddenly came to the West Star Mountain village. Even if they didn't come for Lin Yi would at least have to be on guard, right? Just as he was hesitating, he suddenly heard one of them shout, "Sixth brother, I can't hold on any longer." This old madman suddenly stopped being crazy. How did he become so powerful? The person who was called Sixth brother was also secretly complaining. This old madman suddenly stopped being crazy. Even he couldn't hold on any longer. He didn't know where this old thing got two incomparably overbearing heaven rank weapons. Even an expert of the same level like him couldn't withstand it. Let's hold on for a while. This old thing is intermittent. I don't believe that he isn't crazy. The person called Sixth brother said while gritting his teeth. Okay. After the previous person heard it, he also gritted his teeth and said, I don't know if old Seven has recovered. He fell behind after being smashed by this old thing's axe. Old Seven has the great recover pill in hand. There shouldn't be a problem. Sixth brother said. Why were these two voices so familiar? Lin Yi frowned slightly. He seemed to have heard it somewhere. It seemed that they should be his acquaintances. But among his acquaintances, where was there an expert with the strength of peak late-stage heaven rank? Except for the heaven rank strange man. Yes. Could the old madman they were talking about be the heaven rank strange man? And when Lin Yi thought of the heaven rank strange man, he suddenly thought of the two people related to him, Old 6 and Old 12. Now it seemed that these two people should be from the Five Elements sect. They were the subordinates of ancestor Xianqin. They were brothers with Little 1 and Little 11. Could it be that they found the heaven rank strange man and were besieging him? Last time, Lin Yi was in the Wulonghout mountain range. He used an inescapable net to luckily escape from Old 12's pursuit. At that time, Old 12 was an expert with the strength of peak early-stage heaven rank. How high was he to Lin Yi? However, now that Lin Yi was an expert at the heaven rank early stage, he wouldn't be in such a sorry state when facing Old 12 again. Thinking that the person they were besieging might be the heaven rank strange man, Lin Yi no longer hesitated and ran over in a few steps. When Lin Yi got closer to take a look, his guess was right. The three people on the other side were the heaven rank strange man, Old 6 and Old 12. He saw that the divine weapon in the hands of the strange man had changed from the black iron rod last time to two huge battle axes. What surprised Lin Yi was that this time, the strange man didn't seem to be crazy. Because when he used the battle axes, he was quite methodical and could bring out the greatest power of the battle axes. On the other side, Old 6 and Old 12 were 2 against 1. Under the attack of the battle axes, they didn't have any advantage and were at a disadvantage. However, Lin Yi could also see that although they were at a disadvantage, it was impossible for the strange man to kill Old 6 and Old 12. The two of them were only slightly inferior. Moreover, the two of them had a tacit understanding. When one of them was in danger, the other could quickly protect him. This made the strange man's attacks fail again and again. At the very least, it shouldn't be a problem for Old 6 and Old 12 to hold on for 3 to 5 days. In the end, everyone would probably run out of true qi and scatter. Lin Yi was full of hatred for the people of the Five Elements sect. Old 6 and Old 12 were also his enemies. Although his hatred wasn't as big as Little 1 and Little 11, Lin Yi still had to take revenge for being chased by Old 12 like a dead dog. Thinking of this, Lin Yi directly shouted, "Master, I'm here to help you." Then he rushed over. Lin Yi was now an expert in the early stage of heaven rank. When he came nearby, he hid his strength. The strange man, Old 6, and Old 12 did not notice Lin Yi's arrival. But when Lin Yi shouted, it shocked them. Lin Yi. Old 6 and Old 12 were shocked. They quickly raised their heads to look at Lin Yi and immediately recognized him. As for Old 6 and Old 12, they had the same thought at the same time, and that was that today's situation was hopeless. The two of them were already having trouble dealing with the heaven-class monster, and if Lin Yi was added to the mix, then they would probably fall into the monster's trap. Chapter 3008. However, they were afraid that while dealing with the strange man, Lin Yi would make a sneak attack from the side. With such a distraction, the strange man would have a chance to take advantage of them. Thus, the two of them decided to retreat and planned to take advantage of the heaven-rank eccentric's distraction to run away. The strange man turned around and looked at Lin Yi. His eyes flashed with a trace of confusion. Then, his whole body became a little sluggish, and his eyes no longer had the shrewdness from before. He suddenly shouted, "Good, Li Er, you're here. The two of us, master and disciple, will get rid of these two bastards together." Seeing the strange man's expression and reaction, Lin Yi secretly cursed in his heart. How could he have thought that he just called him master, and the strange man became stupid again, without the shrewdness from before? If the strange man was as powerful as before, Lin Yi and him should have no problem killing Old 6 and Old 12, but now, Old 6 and Old 12 were about to escape, but suddenly heard the strange man's words. They were stunned, but when they saw the strange man's appearance, they immediately became happy. Crazy. Crazy again. Wahahaha. 12 started laughing all of a sudden. 6th bro, this old thing's crazy. Ha, that kid Lin Yi called him master and he turned into an idiot. Yes, Lin Yi, thank you very much. It was quite difficult for us to deal with this old thing, but I didn't expect you to come and help us a lot. Old 6 also said happily, don't worry, I will thank you properly. After I take care of this crazy old man, I will send you to accompany him. Master. How are you? Lin Yi ran to the crazy old man with great concern, but Old 6 and Old 12 did not stop him. In their opinion, Lin Yi did not escape, but ran to see the crazy old man's situation. It was undoubtedly an act of courting death. If Lin Yi ran now, it might take them some time to kill the crazy old man, and they would not be able to find Lin Yi at that time. But Lin Yi actually took the initiative to die. 6th brother, it looks like this kid wants to die with us. Then we won't hold back. 12th's words stopped abruptly at this point because he noticed to his surprise that a palm had suddenly pressed against his chest. Wildfire 8 trigram palm, 8th form. Lin Yi's body that was originally running to the strange man made an incredible turn. Old 6 and Old 12 did not even see how Lin Yi turned around and walked over, and his palm had already pressed on Old 12's chest. Boom, followed by a loud bang, Old 12's whole body flew out. At the same time, blood spurted out of his mouth, and a huge dent could be seen on his chest. His whole body directly fell on a tree trunk not far away, and then lay straight on the ground, lifeless. Lin Yi did not urge the 9th form, because once the 9th form was activated, it would consume all of Lin Yi's physical strength and chi, and Old 12 was just an early-stage heaven rank master. Although Old 12 came from the 5-element sect, and was stronger than ordinary early-stage heaven rank masters, but Lin Yi's 8th form could even kill a middle-stage heaven rank master from the everyday and everyday sect. Killing Old 12 should not be a problem. Now it seemed that Lin Yi's judgment was indeed correct. Old 12 undoubtedly died, and Lin Yi still retained at least half of his physical strength and chi. The reason why he chose Old 12 was also because Old 6 was too strong. With the strength of the peak late-stage heaven rank, Lin Yi did not even try to know that it was impossible to kill him, so it was better to pick a soft persimmon and find someone who could be killed in one go. When Old 12 died, only Old 6 was left. With the strange man in heaven rank, and Lin Yi's help, he should be able to deal with it. Impossible. How is it possible? You are an early-stage heaven rank master? Old 6 looked at Lin Yi, shocked and angry. Lin Yi was actually an early-stage heaven rank master. How could he not know? But it was no wonder. The news of Lin Yi's breakthrough had just spread out, and he and Old 12 had been chasing the strange man in heaven rank for almost half a month, from the territory of the Five Elements sect to the West Star Mountain. During this period, the strange man in heaven rank was sometimes good and sometimes bad, sometimes crazy and sometimes sober, so it dragged on. No one could defeat the other. They chased for a while and fought for a while, but fortunately, when they chased here, they had already figured out the strange man's fighting style. Waiting for him to go crazy, they could take him down in one fell swoop. But who would have thought that Lin Yi would appear out of nowhere? And Lin Yi was actually an early-stage heaven rank master. Of course, what puzzled Old 6 the most was that even if Lin Yi was in the early-stage heaven rank, Old 12 was at the peak of the early-stage heaven rank, and the disciples of the Five Elements sect were often stronger than other cultivators of the same level. But it seemed that this was not the case. Lin Yi was actually stronger than Old 12. Moreover, what was most inconceivable was Lin Yi's qigong just now. Even the speed of a heaven rank master couldn't be that fast, right? A moment ago, he was still standing in front of the strange man, and the next moment, he directly teleported in front of Old 12 and sent him flying with a palm. Was this footwork a new type of martial art specially used for sneak attacks? However, the strange man didn't give Old 6 the time to ask. Although he was crazy, the two axes in his hands didn't stop. They swung in the air like a tiger and smashed towards Old 6's face. Old thing, you're courting death. Old 6 didn't get to ask why, but instead suffered a fierce attack from the strange man. He was so angry that he raised the ruler in his hand and smashed it towards the strange man's head. This was his heaven rank weapon, and Old 12's heaven rank weapon was a black token. Although Lin Yi didn't know what it was, he had already coveted it and was ready to secretly pick it up later. The heaven rank eccentric didn't dodge and directly swung his two axes at Old 6. These two axes were much longer than the ruler, so Old 6 was startled and quickly dodged. The ruler was also taken back by him. He had no choice but to dodge. If he didn't dodge, the strange man's axe would smash towards him. Wouldn't his head be directly split open? It must be known that although the strange man was now in a crazy state, his strength hadn't decreased. He just didn't have any method to fight the enemy, so he fought randomly. Chapter 3009. Originally, it should have been easy to deal with the crazy heaven ranker, but now it had become extremely difficult. Otherwise, he and 12th brother would have killed the heaven ranker long ago. Why would they wait until now? And they had finally found a flaw in the heaven ranker. When he was awake, there was a blind spot that he couldn't take care of. This was also the reason why when one person was in danger, the other person could help him escape. Because once the other person attacked from the position of the flaw, the heaven ranker had to protect himself. Thus, when the heaven rank eccentric went berserk, one person attacked from the front while the other attacked from an opening. The heaven rank eccentric wasn't clear-headed and simply didn't have time to think about it, so it was very likely that he would be killed. But now that there was one less person, it was difficult to implement this plan. 6th brother could only brace himself and fight against the heaven ranker. Fortunately, this person was relatively stupid now, so 6th brother could barely gain the upper hand, but it was impossible to eliminate him. Lin Yi watched the battle between Sixth Brother and the Heaven Ranker. From the current situation, the Heaven Ranker couldn't do anything to Sixth Brother because Sixth Brother was not stupid and dodged very quickly. Moreover, the Heaven Ranker was attacking randomly, so he couldn't hit Sixth Brother at all. Several times, the Heaven Ranker's battle axe was easily dodged by Sixth Brother, which made Lin Yi secretly feel pity. At the same time, Lin Yi was also thinking about how to help the Heaven Ranker kill Sixth Brother. If Sixth Brother escaped today, then Lin Yi was afraid that there would be endless troubles in the future. Although Boss Bai and Ancestor Xianqin had an agreement, that was also under the premise of mutual non-aggression. Now that Lin Yi had killed 12th Brother, 6th Brother could go back and tell Ancestor Xianqin. Ancestor Xianqin would have enough reason to send people to kill him. Who asked him to kill someone else first? If Old 6 and Old 12 came to find trouble with Lin Yi first and were killed by Lin Yi, Patriarch Xianqin could only swallow his broken teeth. If he wanted to find Lin Yi for revenge, Boss Bai would definitely not agree, because he was in the wrong. But now, Old 12 was dead. Although Lin Yi was helping the heaven-ranked weirdo, essentially, Lin Yi had nothing to do with the heaven-ranked weirdo. As long as Patriarch Xianqin insisted on this, he would attack Lin Yi, and Boss Bai would be helpless. To put it bluntly, many things in the ancient times needed a reason that everyone could live with. With a reason, there was nothing to worry about. However, no matter how Lin Yi thought about it, he couldn't think of a way to deal with Old 6. The true Qi bomb had been compressed for too long, and Lin Yi couldn't guarantee that the true Qi bomb would have an effect on Old 6. After all, Old 6 was a peak late-stage heaven stage master. It was hard to say if Lin Yi's true Qi bomb could cause any harm to him. As for the Frenzy 8 trigram fire palm, even if Lin Yi used the 9th form, it shouldn't have any effect on Old 6. After all, the 9th form could kill a peak mid-stage heaven stage master in an instant. It was unknown whether it could seriously injure a peak late-stage heaven stage master, let alone a peak late-stage heaven stage master. After thinking about it, Lin Yi's brain was working at full speed, constantly recalling the experiences he had when he fought enemies above his level. However, it didn't seem to be applicable, because the highest level masters Lin Yi fought against were Zhang Naipeo's two subordinates, Mo Ba and Mo Jiu, mid-stage heaven stage masters. Suddenly, Lin Yi had a flash of inspiration, thinking of Zhang Naipeo. Lin Yi suddenly thought of Zhang Naipeo's heaven-defying skill, Dark Demon of Hell Fist, and after Lin Yi's modification, the Dark Demon of Hell Fist became the Raging Inferno Fist. Although the power of the Raging Inferno Fist was not as strong as the Dark Demon of Hell Fist, it could also make people fall into an illusion. Zhang Naipeo was like this back then, unable to extricate himself from the illusion. However, this Dark Demon of Hell Fist also had a shortcoming, and that was, the effect was not very obvious for high-level practitioners. Some strong-willed people could quickly recover from the illusion, but it was also possible that there was no effect at all. But no matter what, since Lin Yi thought of this move, he could only give it a try. If this move didn't work, Lin Yi could only waste his last inescapable net to trap Old 6, and then let the heaven stage monster directly smash Old 6 to death with his axe. Thinking of this, Lin Yi activated the mantra of the Raging Inferno Fist, and then according to the method of the Dark Demon of Hell Fist, suddenly made a move, punching towards Old 6's head, and shouted, "Raging Inferno Fist." Old 6 was nervously dealing with the heaven stage monster, and when Lin Yi made his move, he also chose the right time, just as the heaven stage monster swung his axe, and the moment Old 6 hurriedly used the ruler to block, Lin Yi's Raging Inferno Fist was also activated. A stream of vital energy shot into Old 6's head, and then Old 6 roared fiercely, his eyes showing a look of incomparable horror. He suddenly felt that he was in a sea of fire, and the sea of fire was chasing after him, and was about to burn him. Old Six was shocked, and subconsciously turned around to run away. However, after all, he was an expert at the peak of the late stage of Heaven stage, and also a disciple of the Five Elements sect, so his willpower was not ordinary. If it wasn't because he was dealing with the Heaven stage monster's attack and didn't pay attention to Lin Yi's martial arts, he wouldn't have let Lin Yi so easily. Therefore, after just a moment of illusion, Old Six roared again, broke through the illusion, and successfully escaped from the sea of fire. However, he was very shocked in his heart. Lin Yi actually had the ability to create illusions for others. What kind of martial arts was this? However, after Old Six opened his eyes, he saw two battle axes falling from the sky, smashing towards his head. This was the last scene he saw after he woke up. Then, Old Six's head directly burst open, and he collapsed on the ground, turning into a bloody gourd. Although it was only a moment of confusion, it was only a few seconds from when Old Six was hit by the raging inferno fist to when he woke up, but these few seconds were enough for the Heaven stage monster's battle axe to smash Old Six's head. Although the Heaven stage monster was smashing randomly, his strength was still there, and Old Six had just woken up, so he didn't have time to defend or dodge, and his head was smashed open like a watermelon. Old Six's death could be said to be very unjust. If the Heaven stage monster was in a sober state, he would have accepted it, but he was in a crazy state, and could still be beaten to death. He died with his eyes open, however, his eyes were already gone, they were smashed into pieces. Chapter 30:10. After Lin Yi used the raging hellfire fist, his physical strength and true chi were instantly drained, and he slumped to the ground. On the other hand, the strange man was full of energy at the moment. After killing Old Six, he didn't feel tired at all. The enemy was killed by us, master and disciple. I'll leave this thing with you first. I helped you steal it from the enemy's base camp. Take a look at it first. I'm hungry, I'll go find something to eat. After saying that, the strange man took out a bamboo scroll from his bosom and threw it in front of Lin Yi. Then, without waiting for Lin Yi to speak, he turned around and ran into the depths of the mountains. Master. Lin Yi quickly called out, but the man didn't pay attention to him as he walked away until he was out of sight. Lin Yi didn't even have the strength to stand up and chase after him. He could only helplessly watch the strange man leave. With Lin Yi's past experience, the strange man had left. He probably wouldn't be able to come back. The next time they met would be uncertain. Lin Yi wanted to wait for the Heaven-class monster to wake up and ask him how he pissed off Old Six and Old 12, how they chased him all the way here, and what was this bamboo scroll he gave him. But all these questions, Lin Yi could only put them in his heart. He could only wait for the next time they met to ask. After putting the bamboo scroll away, Lin Yi didn't look at it directly. Instead, he quickly entered the space of the jade pendant and ran the second level of the art of dragon mastery to restore his lost physical strength and true chi. Although the enemy had been dealt with, Lin Yi was afraid of any unforeseen events, so restoring his strength was the first priority. And this bamboo scroll could be looked at any time. There was no hurry. It wouldn't be too late to look at it when his strength was restored. However, just as Lin Yi was sitting cross-legged on the ground and running the art of dragon mastery to restore his physical strength and true chi, footsteps came from not far away. This made Lin Yi a little surprised. Could it be that the strange man really came back? Of course, it didn't matter if it was the strange man, but Lin Yi was afraid that other people would pass by, such as the villagers of West Star Village. Would they be scared when they saw the two corpses on the ground? However, Lin Yi really didn't have the strength to deal with the two corpses now. He could only brace himself and continue to restore his physical strength and true chi. If there were really villagers passing by, Lin Yi could only make up a random reason. The footsteps came from afar, but after Lin Yi heard it clearly, his face showed a relaxed expression. Because the footsteps were very familiar to Lin Yi. It was Gooden. And Lin Yi relaxed and let the footsteps come closer. Gooden came to West Star Village to hunt this morning. After having a family, Gooden had to work harder to earn money to support his family. So, coming to West Star Village to hunt every morning had become his job. But today, Gooden sensed an unusual scent in this mountain range. It was the smell of blood. Could it be that there were beasts fighting here? Gooden wasn't afraid. He ran over with the mentality of watching a show. But when he saw the scene in front of him, he froze. Boss? Why are you here? Gooden really didn't think that he would meet Lin Yi in Donghai City while hunting. When he saw the two corpses not far away, he was even more surprised. Who are these two corpses? Gooden, you came at the right time. I'm restoring my physical strength and pure chi. Help me patrol the area. Other than a crazy man with messy hair and two battle axes, don't let anyone near here. Lin Yi didn't have time to explain things to Gooden. Okay. Gooden didn't even think about it, nodding and disappearing into the nearby forest, patrolling back and forth. Lin Yi, on the other hand, continued to use the second stage of the art of dragon mastery to quickly recover his physical strength. Old 7, who was also the person that Old 6 was talking about, had been hit by the heaven-ranked monster's battle axe when he was still conscious and was seriously injured. He had no choice but to sit on the ground to heal while Old 6 and Old 12 chased after the heaven-ranked monster. But as Old 6 and Old 12 chased after him, they left some special marks of the 5-element sect on the ground, and so Old 7 chased after them. Gooden patrolled and hunted at the same time, and in the blink of an eye, he had a wild boar on his back. There were a lot of wild boars here, and he could kill one easily. Of course, this was in the mountains, and not many people dared to go into the mountains alone. There were a lot of wild animals in the mountains, but there were also a lot of dangers. Leopards, wolves, and other things often appeared. In the distance, there were footsteps, and Gooden became alert. He hunted every day, and he could even recognize the footsteps of all kinds of beasts. The footsteps today definitely didn't belong to a beast, but a person. Although Gooden was alert, he didn't show it on the surface. He looked like a harmless village boy. Soon, the footsteps got nearer, and a man wearing a black bagua robe that looked like an old man, but he looked like he was only in his 30s. Gooden looked at him. He didn't have an axe in his hand, and only had a sword by his waist. Evidently, he wasn't the crazy man with the axe that Lin Yi said. And so, Gooden's face showed a surprised expression. This person was naturally Old 7. He chased all the way to Star West Mountain, and he didn't see Old 6, Old 12, or the Heaven-class weirdo. Instead, he saw a village boy. Old 7 looked at Gooden attentively. He was wearing rough clothes, and he had a wild boar on his back. This was definitely a hunter nearby, and so he didn't have his guard up. He walked over and asked directly, "Kid, you're hunting here?" "Yeah." "Old Grandpa." "Oh, no, Uncle, where are you from? How come I don't know you?" Gooden asked honestly. "I'm here to look for someone. I'm not a local. Let me ask you something. When you were hunting here, did you see 3 people? 2 of them were dressed like me, and the other one was an old man with 2 big axes in his hands. 7 chased them here, but didn't find any clues left by 12 and 6, so he asked Gooden. Chapter 30:11. Two people who are dressed like you. And an old man with two big axes. Gooden remembered it right away. The two dead men beside Lin Yi, weren't they dressed the same as this guy? Gooden didn't notice it at the time, but now that Seven reminded him, it seemed like this person was with those two. He was probably the enemy of that crazy axe old man. But, to confirm his guess, Gooden asked dumbly, is it a crazy old man with an axe? Are they fighting? Yes, yes. The two men in the same attire are from the same gang, and the crazy old man with the battle axe is from the same gang. Do you see them? Where are they? Old Seven quickly nodded, thinking that the country boy in front of him had indeed seen them. Let me think which direction they went. Gooden scratched his head, acting like he was in deep thought. Yes, think about it. Old Seven said quickly. They're going there. Gooden pointed with his left hand and punched with his right while Seven was turning his head to look. Bam! With a loud bang, Old Seven directly flew into the sky like a flying man. Ah! The seventh brother screamed in agony. His eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. He didn't think that a village boy who was hunting here would attack him without any warning. And with such strength. Seventh felt as if his organs were about to explode. This was his last thought before he fell to the ground heavily, dying a wrongful death. He didn't understand why Gooden wanted to kill him even when he died. Furthermore, how could a village boy possess such extraordinary strength? What was going on? He was a sky-class late-phase peak. In actuality, Old Seven's death was quite unjustified. He didn't have his guard up against Gooden at all. Think about it, this was a local village boy hunting here, and he had no grudges with Old Seven. They hadn't even met before, so why would he suddenly kill him? Plus, Seven was a sky-class late-phase peak. Even if this village boy attacked him, he wouldn't be able to do anything to him, right? This was one of the things Seven didn't guard against. But Gooden just did it, and it wasn't a normal assassin. He sent Seven straight to heaven. Alright, you'll see those two soon. Gooden said honestly to Seven's corpse. Gooden was an honest guy, but he wasn't stupid. Seven's two friends were dead, and his two friends were enemies of the axe-wielding freak. Lin Yi even said that he was allowed to get close, so didn't that mean that Lin Yi was on the freak's side? And so, Gooden killed Seven so that he wouldn't disturb Lin Yi's training. After killing Seven, Gooden continued patrolling nearby. Lin Yi, who wasn't far away, didn't expect that Gooden had just killed a sky-class late-phase peak from the Five Elements sect. Although Lin Yi heard some fighting sounds, he thought that Gooden was hunting. After all, Six didn't make things clear, and Lin Yi didn't expect that there would be someone chasing after him. If he knew, Lin Yi would have told Gooden to carry him back. After killing Seven, Gooden didn't bother Lin Yi. He patrolled around the area to see if anyone else was coming. But other than Seven, no one else came. He waited until noon when Lin Yi called him. Gooden dragged Seven's corpse to Lin Yi's side. Seeing the corpse in Gooden's hands, Lin Yi jumped. Gooden, who is this? How come there's another corpse? Boss, this is the person I killed. He's the accomplice of the two dead people. Gooden said, before, when I was patrolling there, I met him. He asked me about the two people who were dressed like him, and about the sky-class madman with a battle axe. I was afraid that he would come to trouble me, so I killed him with one punch. You killed him just like that? Lin Yi knew about Gooden's strength, but he died just like that. Lin Yi still felt sorry for the Five Elements sect. He probably didn't even know how he died. I wonder what kind of expert he is. But he couldn't be weak. He had a sword on his waist. It should be his sky-class weapon. This person was at least a sky-class early phase. However, Lin Yi suddenly remembered what Old 6 and Old 12 had said. They mentioned old 7, so this person should be the old 7 that would come later. Old 6 was a Sky Class late phase peak, so this person couldn't be weak either. He was at least Sky Class late phase, or maybe he was also Sky Class late phase peak. He died a horrible death. But Lin Yi was very scared. If Gooden didn't come, he wouldn't be able to fight 7 when he recovered his chi and the Sky Class freak wasn't there. Plus, even if he didn't recover his chi, he wouldn't be able to fight 7. You hit him, and he didn't fight back? Lin Yi asked quickly. No, I lied to him. Gooden told the situation to Lin Yi, and Lin Yi couldn't help but laugh. This 7 was really unlucky. In his eyes, a weak village kid suddenly became a tiger. Gooden, you were really lucky. If you didn't lie to him, no one would be able to save you if he hit you. Lin Yi said. Yes, so I had to outsmart him. Gooden nodded. My Yuan said that I shouldn't always use brute force, I should use my brain. Ha! Lin Yi couldn't help but laugh. Let's clean up and go back. Don't tell anyone about what happened today. Boss, don't worry. Yuan and I won't tell anyone about this, Gooden nodded. Lin Yi searched the 3 corpses on the ground. He didn't expect them to be poor bastards. Other than 3 Sky Class weapons, there was nothing else. There was a small box on the 7th brother's body. It was an antique box that was used to store pills, but it was empty. It could be assumed that after the 7th brother was injured by the strange heaven rank man, he used the 3rd grade Great Cyclic Pill to recover. Chapter 30:12. Before, Lin Yi was worried about his Sky Class, but now he could open an armory. With the Water Element Sky Class he got from Snowy Valley, the Ice Element Sky Class from Zhang Liju's tomb, and the Gale Lightning Boots he got from the Assassins, Lin Yi had a total of 6 Sky Class weapons. Of course, Lin Yi didn't know if there were any that he could use. Every Sky Class weapon had its own practitioner's arts to bring out its full potential, but Lin Yi didn't have any of them right now. He could only go back and think of something. Gooden had already finished his hunting. He had a wild boar, a deer, and 2 pheasants on his shoulders. It was a full haul, and the 2 walked down the mountain. The morning in the village was bustling. The villagers liked to sleep early and wake up early. This was their life. Every morning, when the rooster crowed, they got up to work. Now, they had set up a small business at the entrance of the village. People in the mountain village also had the habit of going to the market in the morning. Even if there was no big market, the small market at the entrance of the village still made them very happy every morning. Gooden, you're back from hunting. What's the good game today? Let Uncle Wang choose first. Uncle Wang was in charge of the banquets in the village. Whoever had a wedding or a funeral, he would be in charge of the banquet. There weren't many big restaurants in the village, and every family would either have to cook or invite people to hold a banquet. Uncle Wang would go back and forth between the villages, doing the banquet business. These years, the villagers were getting rich, and so spending money to invite people to hold a banquet became a custom. Uncle Wang would often buy some game from Gooden, and when he held a banquet, he would put it on the important seats, like the elders, the head of the family, or the parents' table, to show how special they were. It's still wild boar, deer, and pheasant. Which one do you want, Uncle Wang? Gooden didn't hunt those rare animals under Yuan's influence, he only hunted some normal animals to sell. It wasn't as profitable as those rare animals, but it was enough to feed his family. Isn't this Lil Yi? You're back. Uncle Wang also knew Lin Yi. He was also an old man in the village. He was the younger brother of Widow Wang, who owned the grocery store at the entrance of the village. Uncle Wang, I came back to see my grandpa. Your business seems to be doing well. Lin Yi greeted Uncle Wang with a smile. "Ha, not bad, not bad." Uncle Wang grinned. It seemed that it was not bad. Uncle Wang's shout drew the attention of the other villagers to Lin Yi, who was next to Gooden. "It really is Lil Yi." "Yeah, Lil Yi, you came back by yourself this time. Yi, your 3 pretty girlfriends didn't come back with you." 3. Lin Yi paused. "Didn't he come back with Meng Yao and Yushu last time?" He didn't remember Xiao Xiao ever coming here. How did she have 3 girlfriends? But Lin Yi thought that Lin Yi was mistaken. The situation was very messy, and all the villagers were talking to Lin Yi. Lin Yi could only nod and smile. After dealing with all of them, Lin Yi finally returned to his house. Lin Yi saw old Lin sitting in the yard, staring blankly. When he saw Lin Yi come back, a smile appeared on his face, but it disappeared quickly. He was still as calm as before. He said to Lin Yi faintly, "You're back, Lil Yi." "Ah. I'm back." Lin Yi felt a warmth in his heart. It seemed that according to last time, the old man had been waiting for him here for the whole morning. The old man acted like he didn't care, as if he was just enjoying the cool air in the yard. But who would do that in the middle of the day? "What took you so long?" Old man Lin asked in a seemingly casual manner. "I ran into some trouble." 3 sky-class enemies, Lin Yi said calmly. 3 sky-class. Here. Old Lin's face froze. Why are they here? What kind of power are they from? At this moment, Lin Yi suddenly felt an indescribable domineering aura emanating from old Lin's body, making him, a sky-class early phase, feel a little pressured. Fortunately, old Lin's expression returned to normal after saying that. "It's 4 practitioners that happened to pass by here. They didn't come for me, but these 4 are related to me." Lin Yi said as he told old Lin about the 4's background and how they died. "Oh. Gooden killed one. It's a good thing he went up the mountain. Otherwise, you'd be repairing it yourself." Old man Lin snorted in dissatisfaction. "Next time, call me directly if you're in trouble." "Alright, but I'm fine now, right?" Lin Yi smiled. "Old man, thank you for waiting for me for a day and a night." "Why would I wait for you? I was basking in the sun." Old Lin said indifferently, "You went up the mountain, and you didn't even say you wanted to hunt some wild game for this old man to eat. Do you have any filial piety?" Lin Yi paused. He suddenly remembered that he went up the mountain to hunt some game, but he forgot about it when he met the sky-class weirdo and old 6, old 7, and old 12. He came back after recovering his strength. Gooden did hunt a bunch, but Lin Yi forgot to ask him for it. "I knew you weren't reliable." "Forget it, I'll make some noodles myself." Old Lin stood up and was about to go into the house to cook. "Old man, let me do it." Lin Yi quickly ran over and started a fire. Starting a fire was as simple as it could get for Lin Yi. He just treated it as a forging fire, burning all the firewood in the stove. Making noodles was Lin Yi's specialty. It was because of this that the Miss and Shu accepted him, and the old man was willing to eat the noodles made by Lin Yi. "Aren't you in a hurry to see what you've brought back?" Old Lin asked, seeing how busy Lin Yi was. "I haven't eaten yet either." Lin Yi smiled. "Let's eat first." Old Lin looked at Lin Yi's back and nodded in satisfaction. After eating, Lin Yi went back to his room to study today's loot. Lin Yi wasn't in the mood to study the 3 sky-class weapons. They looked precious, but Lin Yi didn't have any arts to use with them. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.